Snapshot.
Mariners return to action tonight. They welcome the Tampa Bay Rays to town. Game one of the series is this evening with Logan Gilbert taking the hill. He faces off against Drew Rasmussen. And action gets underway. 6:45 first pitch, 5:30 pregame show. You can catch it all right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, tempers flaring during the Raiders training camp practice today. It featured defensive end Max Crosby, no surprise, and quarterback Kirk Cousins. How about that? He got hit twice by Crosby in the team period, and when Crosby hit Cousins' arm a second time, he had apparently had enough, got into Crosby's face, grabbing the All-Pros jersey while both exchanged words before it was broken up. Gotta love a quarterback that'll go after a defensive end that way.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We are live at Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park on a beautiful summer day out here. Mariners looking to play some baseball tonight, hopefully better than they did in this previous series. We'll talk about that. Game one tonight. It's a big festive weekend celebrating the 50 greatest players in the history of this organization, which is 50 years old. So lots of celebration going on this afternoon. We were expected to be joined by our Mariners insider, Shannon Dreyer, for the first hour of the show today, but so far, we haven't seen her. I'm not sure where she is, so maybe she's scurrying on over here from wherever she's at currently, but we'll get her. And then Ryan Rowland-Smith, who is a participant in the home run derby. He's actually got some home run derby practice. He's got to tend to today. So he'll be with us later on in the show at what time?
Well,
3
he's
o'clock?
going to be here at 3. He's going to step aside at 4. I believe they're doing it on the field, so we'll have to commentate on that. I mean, we're going to have to give him some grief when he comes back over here. So he's going to do that, whatever that entails, then come back probably around 4:30 and then be with you the rest of the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's been under the weather, right?
Oh, yes,
He
very
sounded.
much so.
I was listening to him the other day. He sounded horrible.
Well, also, I brought this up to Dave yesterday because we saw him here after the broadcast. He might have a built-in excuse, Bob.
Is
He
that
might
what
have a
it
built-in
is?
excuse. He was like, my back's kind of hurting. Like, yeah, I was swinging a lot. Back's not feeling great.
He's
So,
sick.
Yeah,
He
I
did-
don't know. I
he-
mean,
I-
the excuses are piling up now.
I'm taking the under on my 1.5 line that I set.
Okay, does this change anything? Apparently, he told us 90 seconds. It looks like the Mariners added 30 more seconds. They just sent out kind of a one sheet with the rules. It's now 2 minutes instead of 90 seconds. So extra 30, maybe Ryan can hit 2?
Yeah, I'd still set it at 1.5.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd be more likely to take the over in that case. But, yeah, 90, 1.5 felt good, and I would go with the under. And now that you tell me he's making excuses already,
Yeah.
he's sick,
Yeah.
he's back, and he was telling us how the high school kids were robbing him when he was doing a little practice before. So, yeah, we'll see what goes on with Ryan, and I can't wait to get eyes on him out here.
I think they're making it a big deal, so I think it's happening on the field. I guess we'll see. But, yeah, it's definitely the batting practice for the home run derby is part of the buildup of this alumni home run derby tonight. So it's going to be fun to watch. I don't think we have to worry about one getting hit out here since, as I had to tell Dave yesterday, he's a lefty, and he's a former pitcher.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You want to weigh in on the Mariners, the Seahawks? We're coming up on the show. Again, we expect Shannon Dreyer will be joining us at some point. Ryan will join us around 3 p.m. Then we're going to talk to Paul Moyer, his weekly conversation coming up at 3 o'clock as well. Brett Boone is going to join us today here on set, right? He's going to join us live. Brett Boone, I assume, is going to be one of the 50 greatest Mariners of all time as they're going to unveil the list tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
so
all 50 tomorrow. Closely guarded, state secret until then, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they're the obvious ones we know. A-Rod and Griffey and Randy and Edgar and Buhner and Ichiro. Those are, there's some fairly obvious names, Felix, what have you. We can go down that list. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting how they fill out the 50. Like, who are going to be the controversial names? There might be names that you don't particularly like. I know people still have a bug up their backside about A-Rod. doesn't matter. If you're just looking at who he was with the team, he's without. It's not even a debate. It's not even a question. He's one of the greatest to ever wear the uniform. I could see Cano being maybe polarizing for some, even though when you look at his numbers here, he was remarkably productive. And they got out of that. Before everything went the wrong direction.
He's got to be on it, I think. Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah, 50 is a lot. You guys have kind of just thrown out there. Okay, once you get past the obvious, you still have maybe 20 plus guys that you have to get on that list. So there are going to be a lot of names that maybe raise some eyebrows. But yeah, someone like Robinson Cano, who the time here, you mentioned it because you've been a big supporter of that. That was a good move to bring him here. It was warranted of having a stint on here. And then I think the only other known name, Bob, that we know of that wasn't maybe an obvious one is what Justin Hollander told you guys on Monday. Luis Castillo is on the 50 greatest Mariners.
I think we could have guessed that, though, right?
Yeah. Well, recency bias. The people, the texters don't like that.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Oh, all right.
Some don't. Yeah, because it's like you look at what he did the past couple years. Like, nah. But you got to think about
look
2022, 2023.
Yeah, you got to look at his. He's a winning pitcher here. He's a winning pitcher. So in totality, he's worthy of being on that list. So yeah, you guys can text in on that. Who are going to be the, I don't know, maybe the more controversial names that you think may appear on there that you don't agree with, whether it's, I guess, Luis, whether it's, A-Rod, whether it's Cano, whatever's on your mind with that. Shannon has found her way here, which is great to see. And we'll talk about what's gone on with this team, which has not been pleasant. I'm sure she, along with everybody else, is looking forward to that conversation. She just gave me the look. Yeah, she's excited. She can't wait. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Oh, just ducky. How are you?
yeah. It's been a week. It's been a week.
Man.
Yeah. So the Mariners have. It's first off, I get hit by a car on Tuesday.
Okay, we're talking about that.
Yeah,
it's good to see you.
Surprisingly in one piece, despite the coward that ran and hit and run, and left me laying in an intersection.
They'll get him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or I hope not.
I hope I get him before the cops do. That's all I can say. And then laying at home with ice packs all over me, I'm watching the Mariners just not compete. They were uncompetitive, is what I would say about this series, and I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, you got shut out twice in 3 games from a team that basically waved the white flag, traded away their top 2 pitchers, and said this isn't the year, and they came in and outscored you in those 2 games 19-0. How do you sum up what we're seeing here? I don't even know what to say about it.
I guess that's my job, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you don't have an answer because they don't have an answer.
Right, yes.
They're looking for answers.
Told them Coach Shannon is not working this year. There are a lot of different things that happen, and I think that one of the things, Logan Gilbert talked a little bit about it before the break, in that they have a lot of confidence in each other. They do believe, as they believed in spring training, that they are a good team. And he said that one of the biggest problems is we never do it all at one time. I mean, how much of a shock was it on the last road trip that the rotation all of a sudden stumbled? You started getting that offense, and the rotation stumbled. The rotation's been holding it up all season long. The bullpen doing what they were able to do, a man down because of the 6-man rotation, losing Matt Brash. I mean, they did an admirable job.
Yeah.
Admiral?
That's the word.
Admiral? No.
Admirable.
An admirable job under those circumstances, and really good regardless. I mean, their numbers were fantastic for the majority of the time when they were, a reduced bullpen. And all of a sudden, it's just like you plug up one part of the dam and another part bursts through is what you're seeing. Consistency has been the word, but it's not just with the entire team. It's this group or that group. And the most frustrating thing, I think, is that we have seen throughout different parts of the season times when you look at them and go, oh, there they are. They can do this. This is what, you saw the 8-game winning streak. That was now 2 months ago. So, I mean, that's way in the rearview mirror, but the same players. And that kind of came out of nowhere. And
that was without Cal.
That was without Cal, and they were playing good baseball. They showed that they could do that. We saw a couple of runs through the rotation where they gave up next to nothing, and they showed that they can do that. So a lot of frustration in where they're at, and, just a big mystery in why you can see how many times have we said this year that that's the game. Is that the game? Is this it?
It's the turning
Is this
point.
it? And, I cannot give a big enough tip of my cap to the fans that are in the stadium and how they are hanging on every move. And I know that there have been some boos last night, and that's their right to do that. But there have also been, if anything happens in the ninth inning, you might have a game where they're down 8-0 and somebody gets a hit and they go nuts. They are trying to will this club to being what it can be and on a more consistent basis. And it's been a tough haul for this group, and they're running out of time to put it together.
Yeah, it is weird to watch because I still maintain, you look at this roster, you're going, this is a better, more talented roster than they had last year. I think it's a more talented roster than the Tigers, the Tigers, yeah. And the Rangers and the Astros. Yet they are clearly not playing up to their capabilities by any stretch, and everybody's looking for answers. You don't have it. They don't have it. I got people texting me, like I'm sure you do, going, what the hell's wrong with this team? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you because they don't have an answer. It's weird to see a collective sort of step back. It's not like it's just Cal. Cal's the most obvious and most egregious because he was at 60 and now he's so far down. So his is the most precipitous drop. But, the power numbers with Julio, the power numbers with Naylor, you're not getting the damage from some of these guys. Now, you do have other guys stepping up like Canzone and Cole Young has been so much fun to watch. But you need your big guys, and just sort of it's been a collective slump, whether it's average or power for them. And I don't know, is it philosophy? Is it what's being preached by Seitzer and Edgar that's not getting through, or it doesn't line up with how they I haven't seen any changes. They fire Magianis, nothing changed, right? And then they have the trade deadline, you get some new acquisitions, nothing's changed so far. You have the fight. Everybody thinks, okay, we saw what happened with the Angels years ago. Nothing came of that. In fact, you came out lifeless after that. What else can happen? What else needs to happen? I don't know.
I think that one of the things, and I'm not sure, and this might be a little bit of where they're at, and this is just what I'm thinking when I see some of it, is for so often they have said that they want the guys just to be who they are. And you can't ask for more than that. But at the same time that I think offensively, I think some have been asked to do things that they aren't. Some guys are pull the ball in the air. That's what works best for them, particularly in this park. And I don't know if things got scrambled in trying to hit more up the middle and trying to, have that philosophy and the hitting philosophy that is being taught. I think that has worked for some. It's worked for Randy Arozarena. That's one of the reasons why he is doing what he has done. He's done it a little bit of the sacrifice of power, however, but, is that something that Naylor's gotten caught up in? I don't know. Naylor swings at a lot of first pitches, and he gets a lot of first pitch outs. And I think, at that point, I think sometimes it's hard to figure out when do you make a change, and that's just one individual. But I'm not convinced that the hitters have always been comfortable in doing what they're doing this year, or attempting to do what they do. And then, you commit to something, and at some point you have to say it's not working. And in this game, I think that's very hard for hitters.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it too soon. You don't want to give up on all the work that you have put in. And when you look at how the power numbers are down across the board and how important they are for this team, I kind of wonder, do you need more see ball, hit ball, be who you are out there? If you're a guy that hits home runs, you know what? You're getting a little license to go out there, find your pitch, and take it out.
The one thing I wanted to see change, especially when they fired Magianis, because I didn't really know what his role was. I mean, I know what his role was. I don't know how impactful it was. It seemed like a performative move to me to fire him, just sort of send the warning shots, if you will. But I thought, all right, maybe we'll see a change in approach at the plate. Like maybe they'll shrink the zone a bit. And then I see Cal swinging that stuff around his eyes. I see Colt swinging it. Now he's a young guy, so I'm going to cut him a little slack. But I see the guys still chasing, and the zone seems very big for a lot of these guys. So even if they were making outs, I just wanted to see a subtle change in the approach, and I don't feel like we've even seen that.
Yeah, and I don't even know that how much is that the player and how much is that the player trying to, kind of bend to a philosophy. And that's not the right word, to acclimate to a philosophy, probably. So for me, it's hard. I know that they are looking for a little bit something different. And, just to let you know what Magallanes did, one of the biggest things that he did was he worked with the platoon hitters. He was the guy that got the pinch hitters ready to go into games and took them down in the cages and gave them the scouting reports and threw to them and gave them flips and got them ready for that. Those were some of the big things that he did. And, Dom Canzone really credits him for a lot of what he did. And so, he did do things. But as far as philosophy goes, the move was made in large part to change things.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine, I haven't heard talk of the philosophy changing, but I would imagine that things are. I've seen, evidence. They brought up a couple of people actually from the minors on the hitting side. They were on the last road trip, and I saw them talking together quite a bit. And the whole idea is give every guy what they need out there. And it takes, a good team of people to do that and to, better utilize what they have available organizationally. I don't know if there's been enough time for that to take hold yet.
It's frustrating. Again, you guys can text in 866-979-3776. I'm looking at the lineup yesterday, and you got to give guys a day off. I totally understand that. I don't know if there's a way they can space it out a little bit, because when you look at a lineup that's going, all right, there's no Cowell, there's no Naylor, there's no Donovan. What are you running out there? I understand there's a lefty and Framber Valdez out there and all that, but I don't know. Do you need to space that out a bit to give a struggling lineup more of a chance than let's remove these three that have the potential to be difference makers?
Well, especially in a game that meant so much. The opportunity to take a series from another team that's trying to put on a charge, and grab at least a wild card right now, that it was a little bit, you looked at it and kind of raised an eyebrow at it. And it's unfortunate because it's so funny. You go all the way back to spring training, and yes, everybody left for the WBC, and I think that had tremendous impact, not just for the players going, but the hitting coaches. You lost 2 hitting coaches to the WBC, too, in Edgar Martinez and Bobby Magallanes, and that just, when they are going through and doing all that work, that hurts, and then what happened with the players as well. But they were so healthy. You heard about all these players or all these teams losing players throughout spring training, and the Mariners got, to the end of spring training relatively unscathed, and then everything started happening. And you think back to what the bench was on paper, and it was great. It was your platoon players. It was supposed to be a combination of A, Mitch Garver, who is your catcher, B, 2 of the 4 in that it was going to be Luke Raley, who you felt good about going in, Dom Canzone, who I felt good about going in, Victor Robles, who were really hopeful coming off of the IL, and I'm missing another one, and Rob Refsnyder, who has a history of just battering left-handers. And so you looked at, that's a bench right there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, injuries pushed everybody into starting roles, and your bench all of a sudden was players that you had to go find or you were bringing up from AAA. And bench is important. And that is, it's not just what they're going to do later in the game. It is when you have a day like today or yesterday, and you look at the lineup that was there in an important situation.
Yeah, it's been a tough watch, man. You talked about the boos, and yeah, you hate to hear it, but I can't blame fans. This team has to give the fan base a reason to be excited. You got to give them something to cheer about, and people that pay money to come out here and watch a team and then just get waxed and lose 2 games combined 19-0 and no extra base hits combined in those games. The boos are warranted. Sorry, you earned them. And you got to give these fans and this fan base a reason to be optimistic, a reason to be excited. And coming off that series, that's a tough sell right now. And it stinks that you're coming into this weekend, which I think I've been looking forward to this weekend all year. As soon as they announced it, I was like, that's going to be so fun. I can't wait for it. And I still think it's going to be great, and I can't wait to see the top 50 and all that. But, man, you'd love to have had a little bit of goodwill or some momentum coming into this.
Yeah, this is not the way you wanted to go into it, without question. And who knows? I mean, this is the time of year where they do these things. And sometimes this is sometimes kind of spurring things on a little bit, seize the moment and, keep fighting and whatnot. If you have the strength of all the 50 best behind you, maybe there's a little bit something extra.
Well, despite everything we're saying here, and as bad as it feels coming out of this series, you're 3 games out of first place.
Well, this
division is letting you hang.
Yes.
They are letting you hang around.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? For all that belief that they have in each other, they've got to turn that into production out there. That's all there is to it.
100%. All right, let's take two.
This is some tough news. Former Mariner Ben Williamson will not be here this weekend, we assume. He was injured in the finale on Wednesday against the Rockies, was later shown on crutches, so I'm going to say he's probably not going to be here this weekend. No official IL designation yet. Imagine when we get these things and the Rays arrive here, that might happen. But yeah, Ben Williamson injured on Wednesday against the Rockies and was shown on crutches.
That's a bummer. I was hoping to see him. I mean, I saw fans early in the season lamenting his absence, saying, oh, they should have kept him. He's been the same player for Tampa that he's here, except that now he plays second base. He's hitting 247 out there. He's got 3 home runs and 26 runs. He doesn't have the pop that you want at that corner spot. They don't have him. They got Junior Caminero there. I root for him, but I don't feel like, well, look what this guy's doing. How did they let this guy go? What a huge mistake.
No, it was an understandable move. I didn't, the part I didn't like is I like Ben Williamson. He's a great kid, interesting player, definitely can provide you some defense, but the offense has always been the question mark there, and it seems to still be a little bit of a question mark. I know that they've been working on some things with him in Tampa and that there have been some ups and downs and some encouraging signs, but it's a bummer not to see him. But the deal made sense.
I know we'll be doing some scoreboard watching now for both the wild card and the division, and a lot of night games that Shannon Dreyer can catch you updated on during pre- and post-game tonight.
After what we hope is an absolutely delightful Mariners victory.
That's exactly right there. See, that's how you
I
tease
say.
something coming up later. Astros play at 6:40 in San Diego against the Padres. The Tigers, who are now jumped up ahead of the Mariners, are in San Francisco. So that's a 7:15 first pitch against the Giants, and the Rangers host the Orioles, a 5:15 first pitch.
That Rangers game, Nate Eovaldi and Robbie Ray making his Padres debut today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Robbie Ray. Let's go Padres. Let's go Orioles. They're there for you. Both those teams are. I mean, look, everybody in the West is beatable, and that includes the Astros and the Rangers and the Mariners, as we've learned. But yeah, right now.
Maybe that's it.
Everybody can get some. They can all get some, Shannon. Padres handed out. Orioles handed out tonight. Let's see a tail kicking, and maybe this celebration this weekend. Maybe this will finally be the turning point that we point to and go, okay, that's when things turned around. Because I feel like we've had so many false starts. Cal hits the grand slam. All right, there's the turning point. This big win. Okay, now we found it, and it just doesn't happen.
It just shows you how much everybody wants it.
Oh, aching for it. All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife, swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Cracks are starting to emerge in the once untouchable Mariners rotation. We'll dive into some of those concerns coming up next as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Shannon Dreyer in at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports extends far beyond Western Washington. Every single day, thousands across our state listen and stream Seattle Sports, including our neighbors in Spokane listening on KXLX Radio. Our thoughts are with everyone in Spokane, where historic fires have already devastated our state's second most populated city. Join Seattle Sports in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at marinersbike.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd. Go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. It's Bob Stelton here, and the Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. So if you find yourself injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. For 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders with one mission: to serve the motorcycle community. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, 25 years strong. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability, Taylors are designed for demanding environments, with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Seattle baseball is heating up, and so is summertime. Dave Wyman for Fast Home Services. Their HVAC department has you covered. While others book out for weeks, Fast Heating and Air is just that, fast. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to request your next-day consultation for AC, heat pumps, or other cooling services. Same week install available for a limited time. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding is underway now. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com. murphyauction.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Shannon Dreyer in for the first hour. Ryan Roland Smith will join us at some point. He's already texting you excuses. He's making excuses for the home run derby. Now he's making excuses as to why he's not going to be here on time.
No, I think this is just a long built-in excuse for the home run derby, Shannon. That's my theory.
Well,
I know
hilarious.
He's listening right now.
We were doing the
post-game
show last night, and we saw Tucker running through the sprinklers, which kind of soothe the soul after that game. It was great to watch the happy dog run through that. And the next thing you know, Austin Nola and one of the trainers step out on the field, and Austin's got a bat over his shoulder, and Ryan's just like, what? He was like, I want to go to practice down there too.
Yeah, I set the over-under at 1.5 home runs for him. What do you think? Is that a good number?
I'm going to give him 2.
So you take, but
He's
that's a good number.
representing for the post-game show, so we're expecting big things here.
So you think he'll get the over on that?
Yeah.
You don't say that with a lot of confidence. There. You don't say that with a ton of confidence. That was a very yeah. We'll see.
I think he will do better than just about any pitcher that could have stepped in.
I saw a video. I don't know. Last week they showed him taking some cuts. He's got a good-looking swing.
Yeah.
It didn't look awkward like some pitchers.
He was hitting the ball hard.
Was he?
Yeah, he was just having a little trouble with the launch angle. He had to get that launch angle straightened out.
Yeah,
he needs to get more into his legs, use his hips a little. He's all upper body.
He was talking about practicing with some high school kids or something. He was like, "Yeah, I was being robbed. They were robbing me of home runs wherever they were." And I think it was what they say. Lefko, the park was like the distance was what 290 or.
Someone found out the dimensions of the park he was practicing at, and I guess they're not big league dimensions.
It was 280,
like 310 maybe. Like
I don't know.
Center.
Yeah, I think they said it was the same all the way around, and it was under 300 feet. But
so you don't necessarily even have to hit it out. I think there are targets on the field that if you hit, people win prizes.
Oh, really?
So you can make people happy too.
But it's not. You won't win the Derby because I'm looking at the official rules.
Yes, but you could make people happy.
Oh, well.
I mean, that I think is probably even more important than.
So you're saying
the Derby.
his goal should not be home runs.
No,
it should be making
fans happy.
Making fans happy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see if he can do that. Meanwhile, what's your level of, I don't know if concern is the word. What do we make of what we've seen of Bryce Miller, who at one point was the best pitcher in the staff? I mean, he came out after finally getting healthy, and he was a house of fire. The velocity was there. He was dominant. And you start looking at his starts over the past month or so, and they're up and down, and we saw it yesterday as well. And he's saying the right things, like, yeah, outside I felt pretty good. A couple pitches, yeah, that wasn't good, but, kind of qualifying it. But certainly the results have not been the same. And his season started so much later, so are we seeing maybe that mid-season arm fatigue that maybe you would otherwise feel if you started at the regular time of the season, or what do you make of what we've seen?
Yeah, the only thing I would say to that is I think it would have gone on for a little bit too long there. And I think that, usually that's just a couple of games, right? And he's had the velocity dip for the better part of a month right now. And that's a little bit of concern, that's a little bit of a concern to me. He hasn't had, especially in that he had the velocity, and like Logan, who built up to that velocity in season, which was pretty cool to see. He told me that he felt that he had a little something left in the tank, so he went to work on it, and he was throwing more weighted balls, and he got in a program in season and very gradually, step by step by step, took it up to where he was, which I thought was a great thing. And again, yes, as you said, Bryce started later, so he could be in a different place as well, but his good fastball is higher velo. And it's a little bit similar to, he's always had a little bit of ride on it, and a little bit similar to Woo's, not completely the same, but it was a little bit of his calling card in the minor leagues. And when he has that and is able to edit a little bit down and maybe not throw as many pitches, I think it's just a different look altogether with him, a little bit more of an aggressive pitcher out there. And I think that when he's in a little bit more trouble, I think he goes more to, let's use the whole repertoire of 7 or 8 pitches. And it's sometimes hard to establish all of those. I felt he was in a little bit of trouble yesterday when in the first inning, I think it was the first batter, he started with 2 splitters. Yeah. And it's like, you're trying to find that pitch right now. And that's something that, hopefully you have, or you can work into a little bit more, rather than I really need this right now, which I think is where he was at. So we were speculating a little bit on the post-game show for a little while. Ryan and I thought there was a chance too. He has dealt with blisters before, and that perhaps there could be a little something going on there, but I've not been able to ever get confirmation on that. So I don't think we were correct on that. But last night was a little bit curious, and the velo was down again about a half mile to about 0.7 on the fastball. And, it was never, I think 95.9 in the first inning was the highest he was for an average inning going down to 95.2. So 95.9 to 95.2. But what was a bigger concern in that first inning is just he was behind in most of the counts. He was starting out hitters 1-0, 2-0, and it was a command thing coming in. And so had he had that from the get-go, would we have seen more of what we saw in innings 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't know. And if we had, I think that would have been really a step in the right direction. So a little bit of concern. It's not, what we were seeing earlier on in the season, and you are seeing the velocity dip a little bit.
Yeah, a couple thoughts from Bryce after the game. First of all, stating the obvious, saying what did he throw? 40 pitches in that first inning?
Yes.
I mean, it's a minor miracle he made it through 5 when you throw 40 in the first. But basically saying the obvious, you can't have a first inning like that.
Really, really frustrating way to start the game. Just immediately put us in a hole, and we're on defense for felt like 30 minutes for me, but overall, obviously not happy with how the first inning went, but felt like we settled in. We made a lot of good pitches after that.
Yeah, and then one more from him, just summing up what he thinks went wrong in that first inning.
Happy to get through 5 with, after throwing 40 in the first, but I can't start the game like that. We got to be more competitive. It's the leadoff walk to start the game is never ideal. It's really a weird inning. Like I said, I felt like I had some bad pitches mixed in, but the balls that they hit, besides the splitter that stayed up to Keith, I felt like, had a lot of good pitches that inning. Just, didn't go my way.
I'll tell you the one thing I did enjoy, and there's really little to enjoy about this last night, was hearing Manny Acta in the postgame presser. He was much more blunt than Dan ever is. Dan is not going to rip anybody. He's not going to be critical. It's just not what he does. But Manny immediately came out and said that was uncharacteristic of Bryce, and it put us basically. I'm paraphrasing, but basically put us in a hole early. You can't have that. And it was much more blunt. That was my one moment of, oh, I appreciate that honesty right there. I mean, it's not a hot take. It's not ripping anybody, but it's stating some dissatisfaction with what you saw, as opposed to, Dan's a guy who's going to go, hey, tough game out there. I thought Bryce had some good things going, and he certainly turned it around in second, third, and fourth. You know what I mean? There's a different approach. So for me, I kind of like that he did that. It's a minor thing when you go out there and just get your tail kicked. Here's the cut, by the way, for those that didn't catch it.
He wasn't sharp from the get-go with his whole repertoire. Got behind some guys with the fastball early and couldn't put him away with the breaking ball. And we all know that's what we preach here. Walks are bad. Not only him, but the rest of the guys. It seemed like whenever we ended up walking a guy, a long ball followed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's stating the obvious, but I'm looking for a minor victory in all of this. That's really the only thing I could cling to. There was not much to celebrate last night, to say the least.
No, there wasn't. That was about as rough a game as they've had all season long.
Is this rock bottom? Is this it? Have they hit it yet? Every time I think.
Does that mean we could be done with it?
I mean, they still have time, and I know fans are loath to embrace that and go, hey, you're only 3 games out. You can still win this, but that's the reality. They can turn it around. You do have enough games to turn your season around, but every time I think it's the worst it's been, something else comes down the pike that feels even worse.
I kind of learned not to ever say that.
That they've hit rock bottom.
Oh, this is it. This is it right here.
It won't get worse than this, everybody.
It can't get any worse than that. I think that's a bad way to go. They've just got to find it within themselves. Again, they have showed it throughout this season at different times that they can play a beautiful, clean game of baseball with good pitching, with a little bit of pop, with enough guys on base and enough guys coming home and a good bullpen, and win some ball games. Against some tough pitchers, too, for that matter. They've shown it.
Yeah.
They need to do that consistently. And you're looking around baseball right now and seeing teams that are doing that at the time when they need to do it. There was one across the field from them last night with the Detroit Tigers, who by all rights were written off early and then written off again at the deadline, and they're fighting out there right now. Twins are the same way. The Mims took the series from them, but they have put on quite a run. I think they just lost Joe Ryan, so they're in real trouble in that situation. But, they put together a nice run. Look at Boston and what they did. The Yankees haven't been able to pull out of it. They've been having some pretty big troubles. They actually, since Aaron Judge went out, are worst with runners in scoring position, batting average-wise.
They're worse than the Mariners?
Since Aaron Judge went out.
Okay. What was the date on that? Because I know the Mariners since like June 1st.
I think it was June 1st,
was
actually.
It?
I think that was the first game that he missed.
Well, so
it might be really close, but, they were 30 of 30 in that category, which, shows that those struggles can happen, perhaps when you don't have that player.
Yeah.
And perhaps it doesn't take too much to get out of that. You're not asking anybody to be the absolute hero or to hit 60 home runs or, to even hit 20, in other parts of the ballpark. It's just, you need more guys doing things offensively, and it's got to be more than singles. And we got to see a little bit more of the runners in scoring position.
Yeah, just a marginal step forward. Just a marginal step. That's all I've been saying. It's a significantly challenging climb for the Mariners to get back into a playoff position. We'll get into that as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Shannon Dreyer in Seattle Sports on 710.
Sasaki, Raleigh, Alvin, the big unit.
1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned it right in there.
The top 50 Mariners of all time are unveiled tomorrow at 5:30 in a celebration 50 years in the making. The Mariners' 50-season celebration ceremony. Hear every moment live on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. So much more than just physical and hand therapy, though, Shannon. You guys, holy smokes, do you have a lot of specialty care?
Yeah, Brock, we do. Obviously our nuts and bolts is good old musculoskeletal, but we have a lot of therapists that do advanced certifications in specialty care. And that's important because we can treat the whole population. We can treat your neighborhood. We can treat your family. And those specialty services range from neurovestibular care to dry needling, sports medicine, hand therapy, pelvic floor, vestibular rehab, lymphedema, you name it, we have that service. Again, we're about taking care of the whole family and the whole family's needs.
Remember, IRG, they're in your neighborhood. I'm talking over 40 locations and new additions in Wallingford and the WAC as well, that Washington Athletic Club. You can find them in person. You can find it online at irgpt.com. That is irgpt.com.
Our work is measured not in numbers, but in the lives made lighter, calmer, and brighter through compassionate care. That's the mission statement of Northwest Ketamine Clinics. And for those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, at Northwest Ketamine Clinics, there is hope. During August only, their Advanced Healing Series is $300 off. That includes 6 infusions, a private treatment suite, and provider check-ins, all at one flat fee with no hidden add-ons. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opening 9 years ago. With locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, they've given more than 50,000 treatments. Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
the home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Look, one of the best parts of training camp is identifying the guys who pass the eye test, right? The ones who, when you see them, it's obvious they absolutely put the work in during the offseason. If that's what you want people to think when they see you walk into a room, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help. It's Mike Salk, and people across Western Washington have lost significant weight and become a healthier, happier version of themselves with the help of Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I'm one of them. Dropped 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. That could be you before the end of the summer. Here's the best parts. You enjoy the delicious food that you love. The program lasts as it teaches you lifelong habits. There are no monthly fees, no pills, and no injections. All it takes to get started is a free 15-minute phone conversation. Find out if it's right for you. Schedule yours at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Schedule it for when you're in the car, commuting to work, or just running errands, because the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Shannon Dreyer in until the top of the hour, at which point we'll talk to Paul Moyer at 3 o'clock, and then Ryan Rowland-Smith will just saunter in whenever he feels like it.
Well, you know
Bat
what?
over his shoulder.
Paul was really excited to talk to Ryan Rowland-Smith.
Well,
So he's going to be devastated. So, yeah, another notch against Ryan. He's got a lot of home runs he's going to have to deliver.
Is he
a lot
just
of people are counting on
getting a big head? Just feels like,
big arms. Yeah,
I've seen that graphic. I think he's starting to buy into it. Meanwhile, what's your level of belief in the Mariners right now that they can't? 46 games to go. I know it's hard. I'm looking at the text. There's not a lot of positivity, as you might imagine, Shannon. But what's your level of optimism that they get things turned around in these 46 games? You look at where they're at. As we said, they're 3 games back of first place in the AL West. They're a game and a half back for that final wild card spot. You still have 3 games versus the Rays, which starts tonight. You got 3 at the Yankees, at the Astros for 3, at the Brewers for 3, at the Cubs, Phillies for 3, and then the Blue Jays. So you can make up this ground. You're not in this insurmountable hole. It's there mathematically. It's right there. But we just saw them just get their tails kicked. So what's your level of realistic optimism?
Bob, it's really just a show me now. We're at the point where it's just, you got to show me.
Yeah.
I believe that they have what they need on paper.
Yeah.
I believe that we have seen the things, we have seen the games. We have seen enough from the individuals. And you also, I believe a little bit in their history, too, that they can lean on that and that they do have experience down the stretch. And they have been in this position before. But I can't say, I'm kind of keeping that out of it right now if there's optimism. I think it's all in front of them still. I think mathematically they can take the division. They've got the tiebreaker over Houston. That helps things right there. I mean, maybe that's when they wake up, is when they go into Houston. And they've got them in front of them. I think they're a better team than any team that is in the division right now. But they got to play like that. And they're completely capable of it. They've done it. We've seen it. They've got the horses. They've just got to start running.
Yeah. How much of that do you put on Dan and the entire coaching staff? I mean, I think I think it's hard for people to determine how much credit, blame managers should get, coaches should get. We all revere Lou Piniella and talk about him in grand terms. He was a great manager. But Dan got you further than any other manager ever has. That's the reality. Now, whether you want to say it's a down division, it's luck, what have you, but there's an affection for Lou because he was mad. And he would go out there and kick bases and kick dirt and throw his hat and all that good stuff. And people look at Dan and say, he's too soft, he's too nice. Maybe he is. I don't know. We'll find out. But how much of turning around the thinking, if you will, because if we're all acknowledging the talent exists, it's there, how do you make it gel?
It's so complicated because on one end you have to push buttons, and on the other end you still have no control over what they do. They have the talent. That doesn't mean that talent is actually there at the time. So, for me, it's so tough to evaluate a manager in that regard. And you could say the same of the roster right now. You like the roster last year and what it did? Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same roster right now, You like what you saw from this team last year in terms of wins and losses and getting into the postseason and how motivated they were and how they did it. Well, it's the same group. It's the same, for the most part, the same coaches. So it's just so hard to know how much of it is within control of a manager and of a coaching staff. Obviously, they can't go take the at-bats. How much do they truly influence things? I don't have the answers to that. I can tell you the players in that clubhouse love Dan. And these are things that you really saw towards the end, and especially I think you were in the clinching room last year, and you saw how much and the affection and how together they were, and the speech that Dan gave and everything. Why is that different? Is that different this year, or is it just the influence of guys have not been able to do what they've wanted to do? I do think it's important that when things are not going well and for a stretch that you do attempt to make changes. And we've seen that a little bit. We do see Dan managing a little bit differently. We saw the extended outings from Gabe Spire and Andres Munoz on the last road trip, and that's what you do when you're turning things up a little bit. We've seen some lineup changes here and there. We've seen even a little bit more, and some of it's circumstantial. The DH position isn't as open as it was, but Cal's gotten more days off than he has had in the past, and is that going to help him in that situation? So, it's impossible for me to give an answer on that, especially when they are separated by nothing compared to when they were running at their best under the same.
Real quick before the break, how much of what we're watching do you think is being impacted by injury? Injury that maybe we know about, maybe we don't know about. And don't take this as me making excuses. This team is wildly underperformed. And Cal has wildly underperformed. And Naylor's power is not there. But I see him shaking his wrist, I feel like every other game, and he's you see that. And Cal, I don't know if he's totally healthy from the oblique thing. I guess I'm trying to find reasons why there could be such a dramatic change from one year to the next, especially in the case of Cal, where it's just, he's a shell of what he was last year. Do you think injuries are part of it, or is this just a group that is just now pressing and they're trying too hard and they're gripping that bat too tight?
Well, we know Ryan Divish had a great story yesterday on Luke Raley and what he had been dealing with.
With the forearm.
And when it turned bad. And in this game, you are never 100% after the first day of spring training. And the call has to be made. Are you playing injured or are you playing hurt? And how much can you play with your hurts and your aches and your pains? And I think you have to also make perhaps maybe a little bit more. And we don't know because we don't know what the injuries are. Right. We sometimes see things, but they can be really tricky. There have been guys that never seen with ice on them over the years, and the next thing you know, at the end of the year, it's revealed that they were dealing with this. You never saw it. You never heard it. You're trained to look for the signs. You're trained to ask the questions. And injuries are pretty easy to hide.
Yeah.
I think that you have to make good evaluations on and balance on, okay, this player is playing through this. Is it helping or hurting us?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with what we've seen over the last couple of years and the number of the dings and the dents, I wonder if there are times when at some point, would it have been better to say, okay, you know what?
Have a seat for a bit.
Have a seat, or it's really time to get the surgery. And that's up to the player. That's not up to the organization. But I think you have to question if that comes into play with the number of things that you just mentioned and things that we knew of last year as well, and that we just heard of Luke Raley. And, if he was hitting sub 200 with no power for a month, in a month's worth of games with him as a platoon, so it's not the same. I think it was around 60 plate appearances. Is that when that call needs to be made? And I understand that it just got to a point where he couldn't take it anymore, but this is something that I would imagine they go into, and they study all the injuries, and they study all the data, and they study the days missed and the performance and all of that. But I'm wondering what that balance is and what it is when you get to a point where it's a loss.
Yeah. Shannon, it is always fun to talk baseball with you. Appreciate you hanging out. Have fun the rest of the day. Hopefully it's a great day in terms of outcome of the game and the home run derby. I can't wait.
Go Ryan Roland Smith.
You're taking the over officially on 1.5.
All 2.
Okay,
yes.
There you go.
Right.
She's calling for 2. Thanks, Shannon. We got a lot to catch up with our guy, Paul Moyer. He's going to join us next as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Wilson, Freddie, Ibanez, Ichiro.
There it is, number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
A celebration 50 seasons in the making. The top 50 Mariners of all time are unveiled during the Mariners 50 season celebration ceremony tomorrow at 5:30. Ahead of the Mariners and Rays at 6:50. Hear every moment live on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit EastsideExterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Dobson Stuttgart reminds parents swimming is a healthy outlet for kids if we remember to put safety first. Make sure your children are visible by a responsible adult or lifeguard at all times. Sign your children up for swimming lessons and provide them a flotation device for added safety. Always check swimming conditions in advance and coach your kids to never swim alone. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Dobson Stuttgart, the Northwest's finest Porsche service, sales, and storage facility. Online at DobsonStuttgart.com.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit revivehealth.com.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight. Celebration weekend. 50 greatest players of all time in Mariners history will be unveiled this weekend. A celebration of 50 years as an organization. It's a big celebratory weekend, and it's incumbent upon the Mariners to hopefully turn this into a positive weekend on the heels of a disastrous series against the Tigers. They're going to send Logan Gilbert to the hill tonight, who's been very good here at T-Mobile Park. He'll face off against Drew Rasmussen. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:45 first pitch, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, the A's and their longtime GM David Forst have, quote, mutually agreed to part ways. The team announced today, ending his 3-decade run with the franchise. The announcement comes less than 2 years before the A's are expected to move from Sacramento to Las Vegas, and less than 1 year after Forst and ownership agreed on a new contract.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is the moment many wait for.
The most entertaining.
A man of wisdom, a man of experience, Dave.
The most informative.
To bring light to a dark subject. To bring positivity to a negative world.
The incredible Paul Moyer.
Moyer out. He's here, everybody. We look forward to this conversation each and every weekend. He's a man of experience. He's a man who brings light to a dark subject, which is the Mariners, unfortunately, right now. And he is with us. The one, the only Paul Moyer is here. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. Do we have Ryan Rowland-Smith with you today? Is this true?
Well, he's supposed to be here right now, but he is not. He's running late, so I'm not sure if he's going to get here before your time with us comes to an end.
So it's just you and me today. Wow. Okay.
I'm glad we're here, Paul.
Yeah, I heard. I'm glad we're both here too.
Yeah.
Wow. I am excited. I want to hear from Ryan because I've seen how jacked up he is for this home run derby and the guns that they have showed, in the ads there promoting this thing. It'd be big. So, well, let me ask you this: during your time off, laying around recovering, have you watched the Hard Knock stuff with the Seahawks?
Of course I did. Yeah, loved it. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. I
I still lament the fact that it didn't get done. I know the rules were in place, obviously, when Pete was here with all those personalities with Marshawn and Sherm and Michael Bennett. I can't even imagine what that show would have been like. But I think it's cool. And I think the other part of it, Paul, is that they've really done a good job when you're out there at practice of as many bodies as they have and cameras. They're really not in the way. They're kind of, you kind of forget that they're there. I mean, they've been doing it so long. They've got this down to a science.
I haven't been to a practice yet. I'm going to go to the mock game or whatever scrimmage that they have, so that'll be good. I have not watched Hard Knocks, and I'm not sure I will. So I want your take on this a little bit. But I'm there to talk about football, right? That's my job. It's to do the pre and give information to the people. So I'm torn on this because part of me thinks, if I don't want to get too close to the players. And if I watch the Hard Knocks, do I start favoring certain things? And, the one thing I am, look, I'm not an employee of the Seahawks. I'm just a person that gets to talk about them. And I'm an outsider like most of you as well. And so I'm just kind of torn, like, do I need to watch Hard Knocks? Is that part of my job, or do I, keep an arm's distance away? So haven't made that decision yet, but you probably could convince me to watch it.
I would say this, Paul. Are you going to learn anything you don't already know, or are you going to learn something that you need to know? No, they're not divulging secrets, certainly, about game planning or anything, but you are getting to see what some of the self-proclaimed awkwardness of Mike McDonald, who says it in the episode that he's the most awkward person on earth. And you see those moments, and you see, maybe the lighter side of some guys. You see Derek Hall pull into the parking lot in his skyscraper truck, this thing that's, I don't know how many feet in the air that thing is, but, they show the fights out there and what was said to him to trigger the fight, and Mike McDonald sort of taking issue with a player that said, hey, you know what, you crossed the line by saying that. I'm all for smack talk, but you don't say things like that. And so, you're a guy that did it at the highest level. You were involved in fights. You saw a fight. So I don't think for you, a guy of your experience, that anything radical is going to be learned. But it is, for me, for the fans that have never played at that level and experienced it, I think it's a cool look behind the scenes, I would say.
Yeah, I love Mike McDonald so much. He's so mature for his age, and it's not, maybe that's not the right word, but it's the thoughtfulness of how he thinks about things and communicates and articulates. And then somebody said, he's awkward. I don't know. Again, I just think that's
he says it.
Him. I think I'm saying, there's some guys. You go to a bar, there's some guys are great walking up to a girl and talking to them. There's others who are not. That doesn't mean they're better or worse, when, trying to get women or whatever. But when I listen to him, though, and I've seen a few clips, you're watching how he's getting to the punchline, but the punchline is so good. And that's where I go, do you know what I mean? Have you ever heard a guy, they tell a joke and the lead up to the joke is great, and then the punchline is lousy?
Yeah.
Mike McDonald's just the opposite. It's leading up to it. I go, where's he going with this? Where's it? Oh, man, that was a great close. Okay, you got me. So, yeah. So it may change my mind. I may have to do it.
I would want you to watch it just because I would be interested in your opinion. I would love to hear you come back and go, man, I loved it. I thought this was great. That was great. Or you come back and go, yeah, I don't think I need to watch it anymore. That was whatever. I'm just curious your thoughts on it. I don't think you're going to have a huge takeaway, but they show Spoon there. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Spoon because he talks a lot and he's got a big personality, and, Bud Clark, people like that. So yeah, we'll see how the upcoming episodes roll out, but I found it entertaining. I think that show, they do a really good job. But as we talk about the Seahawks and we get ready for preseason to start, has anything changed for you in the way you view this team, perhaps in the way you view the roster? And I got question marks about this position group, or that we talked about running back certainly, but I'm curious, has anything evolved, or is that sort of impossible until you see
some action. You see some padded practices. You see obviously some preseason games leading into the regular season. Is that really the only time you can make a clear evaluation?
I'm not even sure after all that, Bob, I can make a clear evaluation. It's just so different now in camp. And, I think I think it's hard to win a job. It's harder to win a job in camp now in preseason than in years past, because you truly were competing all the time and hitting, and you could almost simulate, game-like situations in camp. You really can't do that anymore. I think there's so few opportunities for people to start, and with a team like this, a Super Bowl champion, so much of it is what's your backup's going to look like. But, I think, with the new offensive coordinator, and certainly there's a couple of pieces, it's safety, there's competition. I just curious to see, do we get better? And I know that's, I heard Cooper Kupp talk about it, and I know that's a lot of Mike McDonald's philosophy is, what more can we do to get better? And there's still, a lot more in the tank for that, right? So I want to see, again, Sam Darnold, how not only how much more confident he is, but, just the decision making. Does it continue to get quicker and better? Again, I think offensively we're going to be a force. I think we're a team that will be able to beat you anyway. We'll be able to run it, and I think we're going to really be a team that's going to be formidable in the passing game. Defensively, man, we're going to be good. I mean, the front seven's just good. I've mentioned this a couple of times. My only question mark really is corner. What's the other side look like? Do we have the corners that we truly want going into this season? So, and look, the other thing, Bob, it's just the 49ers. That's a fact. I've never really hated the Rams, but I'm getting irritated by them already. That one guy, it's really one guy, and he's really good, Garrett. One guy is the tipping point completely for them being massively favored now. Yeah. I'm irritated by that, because we're so good. We won the Super Bowl. We've won the last 8 regular season games, whatever it was, and we are a team that is peaking still. I really don't get it. I get irritated with the Sam Darnold thing not being in the top 10 quarterbacks. The man just won the Super Bowl, Yeah. It's just, so I think for me going into the season, that's going to be fun in that, God, we're the defending Super Bowl champs, but we're really not the ones being chased. We get to play the underdog role again. And, sometimes that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I'm with you on the offense. I'm excited to see this offense. The one thing that's been clear to me so far in training camp, Paul, is that Sam Darnold looks decidedly, and it makes sense, right? He's got a year under his belt, Super Bowl champ, as you just talked about, but he didn't look great in camp last year. I remember there were some practices out there, you're going, oof, yeah. Boy, he's just off the mark, and the timing didn't look right, and you're like, okay, let's see what the season looks like. And now you see him out there, and he's pinpoint, and he's confident, and he's just got an assuredness, and just it's just a different version of him. And I know it's training camp, and I know, the majority of the time they're not even in pads. So I'm taking it for what it's worth. But at the same time, in that same setting, in the same situation, he didn't look good last year at this time. So that's to me something that stood out.
Yeah, no, last year it was really the first few practices. It was like, right. Whoa, what do we have here? But man, for those who have listened, I said he's the most talented quarterback in Seahawk history. The arm strength and the accuracy and what he can do to throw in the pocket, not having to step into it, but he doesn't have to because of the way the ball spins off his hand. The mobility he has outside the pocket, he can throw, running to his left. He's got a wonderful deep ball. He can throw in contested windows. It's always been the decision-making. He had, to me, one really bad game. We still almost won that one. And so, I'm excited. The guy's 28. He just turned 28, I think. he's in the prime of his career. He's going to get better. The quarterback position, I'm not telling anybody that what they don't know, but the quarterback position is the one where you get better. You don't lose the skill level. It's a slower, decline than other positions. And so his best football is ahead of him. And a great guy, humble guy. So I'm excited too, because I think that monkey finally is on his back. He's got a lot still to prove for himself. But when you win a Super Bowl and you've lost, 6 games in the last 2 years, went 17-3 last year, is that what the number was?
Yep.
He's a pretty good quarterback. So, yeah, I'm excited too. I think our offense is going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see, because I think you're 100% right. They got a lot of weapons. That's assuming health, and that's true for every team. But if Torrey Horton can stay healthy, obviously a guy that had a big impact in a short amount of time last year, if he can stay healthy, if you got Rashid Shaheed for the entire season, who they committed a lot of money to, which represents expectation. Yeah. And then you throw in, obviously, JSN and Cooper Kupp, and then A.J. Barner and Arroyo. It just feels like, okay, there's going to be a lot of avenues for Sam Darnold to take, even if the running game maybe gets off to a slower start without Charbonnet to start the season. If you got a rookie who's in Jadarian Price, who maybe is taking a little time to get up to speed, even though he looks really good in camp too. So, there's to me very, very big reasons to be optimistic about this offense, at least so far. And I know it's early.
It's hard to, what we did at the end of last year and then come into this year and say, okay, we're right back where we were. It's not. You're starting all over again, and there's timing, and, there's some guys who got new money. How do they respond to that? There's some guys that, still have a chip on their shoulder. There's other may get complacent. That's the coaching's job, is to make sure none of them do. But it's human nature, right? This is not AI. It's not, a video game. These are human beings that have to go out and get it done. So it's not going to look the same. It could be obviously better. It could be a little bit worse. But I think this team has a chance to do something special again. And, the schedule, I think early on, we need to get off to a hot start, because the end of the year is, we got some tough games on paper. And here's the other thing, Bob. Do you realize there are 32 teams in the league right now, even Arizona, who thinks they have a chance to win the Super Bowl? Everybody thinks they're better this year than last year.
You think Arizona thinks that?
I do. They almost won a preseason game last night. I think they do. They think they have a new coaching staff and the new scheme and a new messaging. Maybe they don't really. They're not going to go, bet their house on it. But everybody feels decent going into the season because there's hope. And then all of a sudden, it's like us. I can't wait to see Arroyo, and I can't wait to see Price, and I can't wait to see Shaheed. I can't wait to see all these guys. And then maybe they get out there and all that off-season training and everything we've been saying, it doesn't actually happen when, other people are lined up on the other side of the football who are paid to stop you. And, but emotionally, yeah, I like where we're going. And, I just think this is such a good team and so well run that they're going to have a chance to do it again.
Yeah, can't wait for things to get started. Meanwhile, we're here at T-Mobile Park, and it's such a big weekend here, Paul. I mean, 50 years as an organization. They're going to unveil the top 50 Mariners of all time. We're all speculating about who's going to be on the list, who's the controversial name, what have you. That's all fun. Problem is, we're going into this weekend on such a low. Paul, you got shut out twice out of 3 games. You got outscored 19-0 in those 2 games. You had no extra base hits in those 2 games. I mean, and that's against a team that just traded away their top 2 pitchers, and you weren't even competitive. I'm running out of things to say about this team. I get friends texting me, what is wrong with them? And I'm just like, we can all see the offense is bad. Offense has been bad, and then you got these ups and downs with the rotation. Why is it that way? I don't know. Is anything crystallized for you or the guys on your text thread there? What's the conversation like?
I tweeted out some of our ex posted last night, and there's so much negativity. Honestly, it's so negative. Let me take you back a year ago. not even a year ago, this town loved the Mariners. We loved them. We loved everything about it. We loved every player. We loved all the moves they did before the trade deadline. And now here we are now, and man, it's so negative. And, it reminded me of two things. I go, look, this is our team. Our team. We can be disappointed, but man, I can't get negative on these guys. It's not like they're not trying. They're not trying. I know this is not probably going to go over very well, but I just said, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of the Ghostbusters too. When they had all the bad vibes and had to go, spray that pink slime on, and the whole New York had to get the happy thoughts and positive things, and it raised the Statue of Liberty, and they, crushed the Vigo, whatever it was called. That's what we got to do. We need some positive energy from everybody, and guess what? For better, for worse, they're ours. Look, my only negativity really, and it's hard for me to be negative because I like the guy so much. He's such a good human being. It's Dan Wilson. It's just some of the decisions still are their head scratcher. Why did we move Cole Young from first leadoff, who's been unbelievably hot, to the fifth spot? What are we doing? There's just no reason for it. By the way, he didn't get a hit last night, and that's not the reason. But I go, we keep just leave him there. Obviously some of the decisions are just at times head scratchers for me, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm a little negative, and it's not that I'm negative because I like him so much. I mean, Dan's one of the 50 best in Mariner history, and it's going to be a great weekend. We need to make it a great week. It's got to be a really positive weekend. God, man, we're playing Tampa Bay. They might be one of the best, if not the best team in Major League Baseball. So it's just tough. I'm realistic now because if Julio or Cal is showing the 8 wins since All-Star break, if they didn't hit a home run, we haven't really won. So you got to have those two guys going, and I think Julio is starting to heat up. I mean, I don't think Cal's going to magically flip this thing around. I just don't. And I just don't know if we have the firepower. And it's not only, look, we're 1.5 game back of the wild card, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So,
1.5 back, 3 back of first place in the division.
So forget our record. Forget everything behind us. If we walked in today, this weekend, and you're 2 games back or a game and a half back of the wild card, 3 back of the West, and it's Houston, you're thinking, we're good. It just feels so different because it just hasn't happened this year. We don't hit home run. I was reading it with the one guy. He was putting a bunch of stats on there. I go, we're so stat-driven right now, and the stats look horrible. They're just horrible. So I think we got to go Ghostbusters, too. Sprinkle some love. Throw some pink slime out on everybody. Let's start singing a happy song, and let's see if we can will these people, because I really believe it's going to be I know it's a little corny. I really believe it's going to take some of that. I think it's going to take some of that positive. It doesn't matter. If we're down 3-0, we can't start booing already and getting depressed. We got to say, no, we got a shot. We got to get some good vibes, because I think, look, as a former professional athlete, man, there's times I lived off of what the 12s did, and they willed us to some wins. And so, I don't know, it's my best positive state I can. I go, you're back on the broadcast, so that made me happy, because honestly, I was pretty worried when I heard some stuff. So I'm taking it all positive, Bob.
I appreciate you, brother. It was a scary moment, to say the least. That's no lie about that. But good to hear your voice, man. Glad to be here, and hopefully, next week we're talking about this massive turnaround in a positive way for the Mariners. Let's hope that's what the conversation's about. But have a great weekend, man, and look forward to our conversation next week.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. Tell Ryan I'm really disappointed he wasn't there today, but actually enjoyed just you and I. So maybe we need to do more of that.
Yeah, we'll just tell Dave to just pipe down from now on.
Exactly.
Thanks, Paul.
Be good. Bye.
There you go. There's Paul Moyer, everybody, with us each and every weekend here with Wyman and Bob, I should say. And if you guys missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab, click our picture. It'll be right there waiting for you after the show. And don't forget to click subscribe, because That way it just shows up for you every single day. It's totally free, and you don't ever have to worry about it. It's perfect. Meanwhile, the trade deadline has passed, but the Mariners have one more addition to make before the season comes to an end. We'll get into that as we continue live from T-Mobile Park with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle sports extends far beyond Western Washington. Every single day, thousands across our state listen and stream Seattle sports, including our neighbors in Spokane listening on KXLX radio. Our thoughts are with everyone in Spokane, where historic fires have already devastated our state's second most populated city. Join Seattle sports in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Your bathroom deserves a refresh. Call it a mid-season upgrade. Dave Wyman here for Fast Home Services, and right now, take advantage of 15% off a tub or shower refresh. Want to upgrade further? Bidet seats install for just $3.99. From leaks to full upgrades, it's the same plumbing expertise you've trusted since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Your neighbors at Three Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. Three Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit threetreeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878. 800-948-7878.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding is underway now. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all going to the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com. murphyauction.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, and he is here. Paul Moyer is not going to be happy about this because he came running in here after Paul got done.
Here's the 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I promised him you would be there, too.
Ryan
I texted him and go, Paul, you're going to be on this week. Just want to make sure. And Ryan's going to be here as well. And
man, I'm sorry, guys, man. I've been going all morning, all day, trying to prep for this home run derby. No, I had my baseball camp up in Everett, running around all over the map, but here we are, 3:30. Not too bad, right? Not too bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's great. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Glad you're here. There's certainly much to discuss, so we'll get into all of that. Bryan is here. You guys can text him. We do have mean text today, so
yes,
he's a good target for you at 866-979-3776. But we obviously this last series was just beyond horrific. I mean, you get shut out twice in 3 games. You're outscored 19-0. You have no extra base hits in those games. Before we get into some of the other things Jerry was talking about, what's your take? I mean, I know you probably have a million people asking you, what's wrong? What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know what's wrong. Obviously, we're around them. We can sit there and go, yeah, the offense is terrible, and you're getting up and down performances from starters. But why is that happening? I don't know. Is anything as far as let's start with the offense. Is it just a group that is collectively underperforming and collectively pressing? Because I don't think it's effort. I don't think anybody they got to light a fire under these guys. To me, that's not it.
I think it just goes to show, and I was always under the belief that, hey, look, 1 or 2 guys cannot make that big of an impact. But, man, some of the teams in the run of opponents you've seen from the last, going back to that Miami Marlins series, Tampa Bay Rays, it's amazing when you have veteran presence in a lineup that you are offensively have to be a presence, and they're not. And I think what happens is when the energy, everyone talks about, the energy of this team, the vibe and everything else, very difficult to quantify it. But I will say this, when you don't have, and I sound like a broken record here, and we can dive deeper into some of the numbers too. When you don't have Julio, a Naylor, and a Cal Raleigh playing to their potential, it's going to be extremely difficult. Then you start searching, well, they're going to be better with runners in scoring position. They're going to be better taking an extra base. Base running's going to be better. Well, the defense has to clean up. All these little things that, yes, a team will go through roller coaster up and down with runners in scoring position. Playing good defense, making some mistakes, not playing smart baseball, some of the things we talk about. Mm-hmm. Well, man, when every team's going to go through highs and lows of that. Every single team. I don't care who you are. I know Shannon was talking about the Yankees too, right? Missing Aaron Judge. But, man, when you are not getting the production from those 3 names in that lineup, man, I'm telling you, like, it is a very difficult way to win games if you're not getting that offensively.
Are you optimistic it gets turned around? I mean, I feel like Julio, we see signs. Even when he's struggling power-wise, he was getting hits. But he was turning into a singles hitter. Now he hit a home run the other day, so maybe we're going to see some more pop. Cal, I just can't explain. I don't know if he just got so out of sorts with the WBC and then the injury and then trying to come back from the injury. His strike zone is as big as it's ever been. He's chasing pitches up around his eyeballs. It just it's such a dramatic change. He's had the most dramatic change from who he was last season to who he is this season. And beyond injury, I don't know how to explain it.
You know what? It's a couple of things. So, Jay Buhner joined us on TV on the weekend. Aaron Goldsmith said to him, hey, think of you, Edgar, and Jay Buhner, Edgar, and Griffey all struggling at the same time. Yeah. And Jay was like, never happened. It never happened, right? And it never really did. Like, and again, I was like, oh man, I need to search through and see.
You gotta fact check him?
Yeah, if there's like a month or two there where all of a sudden the three of them are all struggling.
You were going to call them out on the air and go, you're a damn liar.
Actually, Jay. He mentioned that. And then, the other part was everyone talks about, and I remember this as a pitcher. I was like, man, when I was starting, you'd pitch a game, and if you gave up a 6 spot, man, the 4 days in between, it was a rough one. And I'd look at the hitters, go, dude goes 0 for 4. They're sitting pouting in their locker, Well, I'm playing tomorrow. I'm a starter. I'm playing tomorrow. But man, I think with Cal, trying to explain what's going on with him, it's just constant, just stacking and stacking and stacking
of negativity.
Oh yeah, man, I didn't get this mistake middle of the plate, which was 94 miles per hour. What's going on? Hey, go get him tomorrow. Or then tomorrow I chased that breaking ball. The next day, man, I smashed the ball, went straight to someone. You're just seeing this compounding with him, which is, it is a historic 180. He knows it. Every time he gets in the car and drives home, he knows that he's looking around going, man, has anyone had this kind of 180? And it just stacks up. It just layers on top, on top, on top every single day. And that's the hard thing, the relentless thing about a baseball season. As much as, you can have a really bad month, flip it around and go, I just had a really good, month of July. I'm all good. Yeah, you break it up into months. But, man, with him, I feel like it's just this layering on top of layer on top of layer. And, everyone's diving into his swing. Everyone's diving into his approach. Look, when you're at this level and you can you have the ability to hit 60 home runs, straight away, man, I can look at your swing all day. I mean, you can go out there with a cricket bat. Yeah. It's what's going on between the years, man. Right. He is, and he won't admit it. He might admit it 5-10 years after his career. But man, I do not want to know what he's going through right now. A lot of times, I'd love to be Cal Raleigh, dude. Like, he's on T-Mobile ads, and he's the big dumper. Like, everyone loves him. I would not want to deal with that for a second. Would never want to trade places with what he's dealing with right now, man.
Yeah, real quick before the break, a name we've heard over and over and over since spring training is Cade Anderson. And he is just crushed minor league hitting out there. He's been ridiculously good. Jerry DiPoto on Tuesday was talking about him and talking about their plan for Cade Anderson and why he won't come up and pitch in the bullpen.
We want to build his innings. I think he's at 82 today, and for us to put him in a bullpen right now would be irresponsible for his future development. There is going to come a time where we get to a juncture in the season where we're no longer concerned. Right now, he is the next starter up, and for us, that is an important element, especially now with Louis no longer here. 5 traditional starters on the Major League club, and having a guy like Cade in the background is a really positive thing. So to shorten him up would not be something we would consider. We may get into September if we don't need to tap the extra starter. Now we can talk about more creative things, but we're not going to plan on a runway. We're more likely be creative in how we used him as a major league once he gets here.
What do you think of that as we approach the break here? I mean, he? I know we feel like, all right, now you got 5 starters again, so the idea of a piggyback's out the window. But when you see somebody like Wu struggling as badly as he has on the road for whatever reason, and it's continuing, would it be wise to sort of get him part of a piggyback situation on the road during Wu starts?
Are we? How much time we got here?
You got about a minute.
About a minute. All right. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but okay. All right. I'll be quick with this. First of all, right before the break, you had George Kirby, they gave him a few extra days. Didn't say why, but you get it, right? A little arm fatigue, whatever it may be, without saying anything. Bryce Miller, they had to switch him around. You have a situation where you had a 6-man rotation, no one liked in the rotation. Now all of a sudden you're hitting these dog days, and you're looking, God, I'm feeling a bit of fatigue. Hey, guess what, fellas? Bryce Miller just had to go 4 days rest, 4 days rest, pitch again. Brian Wu had to go 4 days rest, 4 days rest. Now, he looked really good the other day. I'm telling you, this next stretch, when you've gone, this is what we talked about a month ago, when you've gone 6-man rotation, now all of a sudden you've got to flip it back and go 4-man, it's going to be difficult. Now, the Mariners have already put out there, hey, we're willing to do a 6-man here. They've already planted that seed going back a month or so. Plus, you're dealing with a bit of fatigue. Cade Anderson, he will be, and the way this team's looking right now, Cade Anderson will be in a Mariners uniform by the end of the year in the rotation.
Look forward to seeing it, man. Look forward to seeing it. All right. For the first time, maybe ever, we found someone who didn't win the press conference. That's in Wyman. Coming your way next. We continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith in Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle sports extends far beyond Western Washington. Every single day, thousands across our state listen and stream Seattle sports, including our neighbors in Spokane listening on KXLX radio. Our thoughts are with everyone in Spokane, where historic fires have already devastated our state's second most populated city. Join Seattle sports in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by the legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at mariners.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd, so go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. And the Law Tigers were born from a passion for the open road. It's Bob Stelton here, and I've been riding for quite a while now, and it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most: your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're available 24/7, 365, and your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Hey, Brock, you're here with my buddy, Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you know I love this time of year. It's the boys of fall. They're out there playing football, but we also know that sport, especially professionally, gets guys banged up. And they have doctors and trainers and staff there to put them back together. What about for those that do get hurt being active out on their own? Where do they go?
They go to IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, Brock. We've always been available for the public, the consumer, that person out there that maybe has a bump or bruise, and maybe they're a recreational athlete. We are here to help them, give them guidance. But remember, Brock, in the state of Washington, we have what's called direct access. That means if you have an injury or a bump or a bruise, a problem, come see us. We can get you started in physical therapy right away, and we will navigate all the insurance complexities here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy.
And the sooner you start, the sooner you feel better. And with over 40 locations all over Puget Sound, they're easy to find. You can find them online as well at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper.
What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
We'll get into Wyman here in a moment. Texts are coming in again. We got mean texts coming up at 5:15 today. We're off at 5:30 for the pregame show, so get those mean texts in at 866-979-3776. The 509 said, Ryan showing up late is an absolute bogan move. I'm listening on the app. That's why my text is so late. Signed, Mike Lefko.
That's a Lefko?
No, that was not. I wouldn't sign it. 509, come on.
Calling him a bogan.
I would just tell him to his face.
Yeah, guys, I apologize, man. I have been slammed all day. I'm not making any excuses. I know everyone's busy.
Kind of
Everyone's
sounds like you
busy.
are. But,
yeah, I mean.
Listen, I was run over by a car, but you
I know.
come on over
I
here.
get it. I just trying to get from Everett from the Funko Field down to T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, man.
And not even going to take batting practice.
Oh, so bummed, man. I was supposed to take BP this afternoon. I even canceled my Funko Field BP session.
Yeah, so nobody's taking it then, huh?
I guess.
Wow. All right. It is Wyman, presented by Mazda of Everett, and this is an interesting one. Our former pal, who we all love, Taylor Trammell, now playing with the hated Astros, that cheating bunch, mistakenly thinks he hit a home run on a fly out to center.
Swing and a fly ball deep right center. Miles Straw sprinting back at the wall, and he's got it. Playing it low key in center field after taking away extra bases. Trammell is running all the way around.
He has no idea. Oh, no. He's got no idea.
He does not know. He was waiting for a Yiner Diaz high five. That's what we call a loud out.
Wow. Yeah, Trammell had no idea.
Oof, that is embarrassing. He's He's doing the victory jog. He's waiting for a high five.
You didn't see the video, yeah.
I haven't seen the video yet. But, by the way, I love Taylor Trammell.
Oh, he's the nicest guy in the world. But what's it like in that clubhouse after the game? What's he?
Well, I mean, look, put it this way: if did they end up winning the game, the Astros?
That I don't know. They lost the series, right, to the Blue Jays?
But by the way, I'm just watching the video. It wasn't like he pulled it back from over the wall. It would have been a double anyway.
Yeah, and the pitcher's clapping. He's clapping his mid, and there's Trammell.
There's Taylor just going around. Jogging around, giving the old
He
look
steps
to the
on
sky.
home. He made it all the way home thinking,
wow,
he hit a home run. He stepped on home plate, pointed up to the sky, did his thing, and now he's.
Oh, man.
Somebody broke the news to him and said, yeah, that's an out.
Yeah, so after if you win, that's some fun in the clubhouse. I mean, you're gonna let him have it. You're gonna wear him out. But if they lose, it's just like it's kind of awkward.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought by the time he got between second and third, the third base coach would have been.
You need some people to help you out get hey man, it's caught like something. Just show him like quickly before he does the whole routine, touching, looking to the heavens.
Yeah, kisses the hand, points to the sky, stomps on home plate.
Oh man,
I only wish that were Altuve. Meanwhile, number 2 comes courtesy of Scott Van Pelt, appearing on Mina Kimes' broadcast, who said the Seahawks got home field advantage on a fluke and weren't better than the Rams.
Mina, I thought the Rams were the best team in the NFL last year. I said it over and over and over again. That game against Seattle in the NFC title game was played in Seattle, not Los Angeles, in part because Charbonnet picks up a ball in the end zone and hands it to an official, and after a lengthy commercial break, 2 points are awarded to Seattle. Perhaps correctly, all credit to Seattle for coming back in that game, for having big balls in overtime and winning. But I felt like Los Angeles was better that Thursday night. I thought they were going to win that game in Seattle. They didn't. The Seahawks are the reigning champs, and they deserve and earned every bit of it. But I was stubborn then, and I'm stubborn now.
Well, be as stubborn as you want. You're still wrong. You were wrong then, and you're still wrong now. So wear it with pride, Scott. I don't know what you're.
What is this something that's been talked about?
Yeah, the play,
recently?
the 2-point play, which was the correct call. It was an odd play, and it's too long to go through the whole thing.
Right.
But it was just a very odd play that ultimately resulted in the Seahawks with a 2-point conversion. And then they played, so they get home field advantage because they won that game.
Gotcha.
And now they're at Lumen Field, and he's basically saying, well, that's why they won, because of home field. They won because they were the better team. Regardless of how stubborn you are, the better team won. Look, the Seahawks lost to the Rams in a game where the Seahawks threw 4 interceptions on the Rams side of the field, and they still came down to the last play of the game. Had the Seahawks connected on the field goal, they win that game. So
that's kind of like me saying, well, the Mariners would have won the World Series if they didn't give up a run in the, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, I like how he's like, oh, I'm stubborn then, I'm stubborn. No, you were wrong then, and you're wrong now. But wear it with pride, I guess. It's a weird position to take. But, all right, have fun with that. Meanwhile, the Scott Van Pelt thing aside, we go to who's this? Purdue hired a new athletic director, Tommy McClellan, who during his introductory presser yesterday appears to know nothing about the school's biggest rival.
Every recruit, every current student athlete will hear this message repeatedly. We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
You know what happened.
Indiana won the national title. They were undefeated. If you
that,
don't want to win, that'd be like saying in the NFL, if you don't want to win championships, go to Seattle, who just won the Super Bowl.
Look, man, like, all right. If you're in that position, I always think about this, like, the first meeting you have with your players behind closed doors and stuff. I mean, you have to get everyone's attention that moment. And it'd be nerve-wracking if you're walking in, if you're a coach or head of a, like an athletic director or whatever it may be. You got one shot, man. Yeah. You have one shot. Not to mention the fact that it gets out there publicly, outside the closed doors.
No, this was a public press.
This is a press.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you know it's public, man, you cannot.
Right.
First of all, don't get all cliche. If you want to win championship, all right, come on. You got to come a little deeper than that. Number one. But number two, man, you have one chance. That will never be lived down.
That will always live.
Oh my God.
That will always be there.
Yeah,
now,
come on.
Lefko, you're an Indiana native.
Yeah. They're the laughing stock of college sports, of all sports right now. Right. It's embarrassing.
But is this a guy who just said, well, I know that's their big rival, so I'm gonna gain favor with the fan base by taking a shot at the rival and somehow blanking on the fact that they just won the national title and went undefeated.
Yes, and I think what's worse is he came on Pat McAfee today trying to explain himself. Yeah, he's like, I flubbed it.
Trying to double down.
He said it was ad-lib, but here's what's worse. So I have now less confidence in him. He said it was ad-libbed. He goes, I should know Indiana won. I was at the national title game.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so yeah, you should. Make it a basketball joke then. They haven't been good in basketball.
Advice, if you're in, if you say something which is just never going to be lived down, you have to own it and say, I screwed up.
Yeah.
If you try doubling down, come on, man. It just makes
just wear it and go.
Wear it, exactly.
Yeah.
Trust me, I will, and I'll admit, if I say something like, for example, the other night, real quick on this one, the other night, they had a conference when they threw out Gabe Spire.
Oh, on the map.
They came back, threw him out. Well, that's a new thing, right? Mark Wagner, the home plate umpire, was like, no, we're told now we cannot pull the trigger and throw out. We have to meet. Well, I didn't know that was a new thing they've come up with. The umpire's like, no, we cannot throw someone out. I'll wear it. I didn't know. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a straight boom. You throw them out. Or
what did you say?
I said that why are we doing the conference and then the conference usually like what you need someone to change your mind. You either throw them out on the spot or no.
Yeah.
But the new thing is the umpires before they throw anyone out now
they have to
meet. Yeah. There's no more throwing guys out in the spot.
Yeah, and you wore it like a champ.
I wore it like a champ. That's right.
Okay. Meanwhile, what could change for the Mariners moving forward? We're going to get into that next as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan, Roland, Smith in Seattle Sports on 710.
Sasaki, Reynolds, Tino, the boomstick.
Hit a ton, deep left field. That might leave the entire ballpark, and it did. Boomstick, baby. Man, did he kill it.
The top 50 Mariners of all time are unveiled tomorrow at 5:30 in a celebration 50 years in the making. The Mariners' 50 season celebration ceremony. Hear every moment live on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
My goal is what's best for the customer. I truly believe that I won't ever deviate from that.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Got leaks? Tired of applying those cheap roof coating products that never seem to last? What if you could find a roof coating that remains permanently flexible and won't be impacted by harsh UV rays or temperature extremes? Dunn Lumber has what you're looking for. Geico Roof. 100% silicone roof coating, waterproofs, protects, and withstands permanent ponding water with an industry-leading 50-year limited warranty. Available in a variety of colors and on sale now at Dunn Lumber.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking for a little positivity, looking to get back into the win column after a terrible series against the Detroit Tigers. You got the Tampa Bay Rays in town. Game 1 coming your way tonight. They send Logan Gilbert to the hill. He faces off against Drew Rasmussen. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:45 first pitch right here at Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, in the world of baseball, the A's and longtime GM David Forst have, quote, mutually agreed to part ways. The team made that announcement today, ending his 3-decade run with the franchise. The announcement comes less than 2 years before the A's are expected to move from Sacramento to Las Vegas, and less than 1 year after Forst and ownership agreed on a brand new contract.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Rowland-Smith with us live from Edgar's Cantina. We're going to be catching up with Mariners great Brett Boone at 5 o'clock.
Nice.
How about that? We'll talk to him. A big weekend out here celebrating 50 years as an organization. 50 greatest Seattle Mariners of all time will be honored out here. So it's going to be a fun weekend, and more importantly, I hope it's a positive weekend.
Yes.
The wins and as far as wins and losses go.
Right. Get some of that. Yeah. Maybe the festivities this weekend. Get some energy into this team. It was. I'm telling you, man. That loss on what day was it? On yesterday. I keep thinking it was an off day for some reason.
They're bleeding into
because it was a
other.
day game.
Yeah.
But no, the loss yesterday, man. That was a tough way to roll into what should be a really special weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So, by the way, Lefko, how are the mean texts coming? How are they doing? We got mean texts coming up.
Do we have any yet? They're not good.
They're not good? They're not
awake. They're not ready.
I thought they'd jump in on Ryan.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, the one guy who called him a bogan for coming in late.
I wonder if Dave's absence has kind of depressed the mood.
They don't have the material.
We don't have our argue. We don't have our easy target. We don't have the material. So, our generally less than inspired texters anyway. Now you don't have Wyman. So, I don't know. We'll see. We got an hour and 15 minutes.
Nice.
Maybe they can get there.
All right.
Give it to me.
Yeah, Ryan's
anything.
here.
I got a home run derby tonight. Am I going to look ridiculous? Hey, by the way, fellas, I will say this. I'm hopeless with keeping secrets. I got a little surprise for you boys. Everyone watching the home run derby tonight. Wait till you see it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You got clearance for this, right?
I got clearance for it. Now I had to make sure I had clearance with the powers that be, the people who are running this thing. And by the way, the Mariners, they choreographed this thing so well. It's going to be epic. But yeah, I've got a little. I asked them if I could do it, and they had to make sure.
How quickly after the game is this happening?
Pretty quick.
Is it immediate?
20 minutes.
20
minutes.
Really?
Start 20 minutes after.
Jeez,
Ryan didn't know that. He's like, I'm
that.
still
Are
working.
you doing post game?
No, I'm not. No, I'm off, man.
Oh,
We're
you're
on
off.
Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ryan's like, I'm going to be taking a nap still.
No, I'm getting. I got friends and family coming, and some people from my show coming. Yeah, so we're gonna have a really fun night. I've got a little suite set up.
Are you going to go down into the clubhouse, get stretched out with the trainer, and get?
Yeah,
some
we're able to get down there pregame, do some cage work. But like I said, man, I got something that might get a few laughs. I'm hoping, or I might go down like a lead balloon. I don't know.
I love it. I can't wait for it, and hopefully it's on top of a Mariners win.
Yes, for sure.
That's more importantly what we need to see out there because it's just been a rough go. But this late in the season, what could change for this team to improve? I mean, it's just as simple as saying, well, if guys just start hitting. Well, if they haven't been hitting 110-plus game, whatever it is, into the season, is it realistic to expect? I'll tell you what, Cal squaring up some of those foul balls and blah, blah, blah. He's starting to find it. I mean, yeah, maybe they could. You still got 46 games to go. So is it possible? Yes. Is it likely, though?
I've thought about this a lot, man. Like, think about the division, right? Let's talk about the division for a minute. The Mariners are still a game and a half out of the division, right?
They're 3 games out of first place. They're a game and a half out of
Excuse me.
the wild card.
Sorry. A game and a half out of the wild card. My bad. 3 games out. Okay. That literally, they could be winning the division in a week from now. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, as bad as they've been playing, as bad as we feel.
It's like, okay, hang on. Is this the issue where it's like you going into every series and it's like, okay, we should win, but we're just kind of sitting there hovering. Like, what if the Texas Rangers, for example, just went and won 15 straight?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm talking about when you're talking late May, June, then all of a sudden you have to make some serious moves, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not the case. So we're sitting there, it's still kind of hovering. Now, the difference has been the lineup, right? So you see Dom Canzone hitting third. I love Dom Canzone, right? He's swinging the bat, having a breakout year. He should not be hitting third in this lineup. And you look at that and go, okay, well, we can shuffle the line. We can do these marginal things, around the edges. I'm telling you, man, you get real motivated, just like the Red Sox did, when all of a sudden, man, you are nowhere near it, as if it happens early enough. And this is the problem I see now with this team. It's like, now all of a sudden you're in the month of August. You should be, and don't get me wrong, it's a good thing that they're that close in the division, but once you get to this point, this is who you are as a team. This is how it's looking. And I think the hard thing is mentally, after every game, I keep going back to Cal and Josh Naylor, let's stick with the offense for a second. You have to say, all right, I'm going to untether from any expectation or any identity I had as a hitter right now. The 60 home run, Cal, you know what? We'll never forget it. No one will ever forget it. But as we sit here and we get into August 7th, a weekend against the Rays, that's gone. That's gone right now. What are the 3 things that I can do when I get up to hit to just move me in the right direction? And you have to untether from the looking up at that 2025 AL West championship. We should have won the West. Oh, we're struggling. Again, I'm saying that from personal experience here. I went from having a year where I was really having a breakout to the next year, it pretty much derailed my time as a Seattle Mariner. It really did. I was gone the next year. They non-tendered me. They said, take this offer. We're going to non-tender you. And, for whatever reason, I should have just taken it. I don't know what I had no ground stand. I got a 6 ERA. What was I thinking? But that year, I spent April, May. Everyone's like, oh, it'll turn around. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. No, I needed to get smacked in the head. I really did. And I didn't. I got to this point in the season, and I'm like, oh, but what happened? What happened from last year? But last year, I was getting quality starts every time out. I was going in the 7th inning with 2 runs every time. I was pitching every 5th. Oh, they had a commercial about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to. And I remember looking back, I'm like, I should have in April, May. And instead of everyone, kissing my butt, telling me, oh, you're going to be okay. Oh, no, you had a great year last year. No one cares.
Yeah.
You have to try and untether from that. So what I'm trying to say is, in this next week or so, forget about any identity as this team that you have, and everyone has to look in the mirror in that clubhouse and say, all right, what's the 1 or 2 things that I can do to make a difference right now? Because, man, it is, and again, man, it's not so much where you sit as we keep going back to the division, but it's kind of how you got there. You're not in a good place right now. Even though we're sitting, they're only a game and a half back in the wild card. They're sweet. No, they're not. They're not. I'm sorry. This is a team, as we see right now in this last week, and I'll be the first to tell you that postseason, all right, you may get there, but, I mean, man, what does it look like if you're going to have this kind of production once you get into October, man? And so you got to have a hard look. Now, again, they are just a couple wins away from everyone looking around going, hey, we're sweet, and getting on a roll. I get it, but, man, you have to untether from any expectation of what you did in the last couple of years.
Well, John Morosi was on. He was talking about a couple different things we'll play here, but he talked about the biggest need for this Mariners offense.
I do think this speaks to one of the problems they've run into, which is you look at what Cal did a year ago and even what Julio can do when he's having a really good Julio-type season. They just have not had, and I'll borrow one of the favorite terms of Dan O'Dowd, one of my colleagues at MLB Network who used to be the GM of the Rockies. Dan O'Dowd likes to call them aircraft carriers. The Mariners just do not have an aircraft carrier right now, and they better find one over the next couple months.
Yeah, well, you got guys who can potentially be that. That was Cal last year, but
yeah. So 2 things he said. Number one, he referred back to what they were in a year ago. Okay, and that's part of my point. You have to at some point. I'll get to the aircraft carrier part because it's a really good point. But again, you have to at some point say, look, all right, again, looking around, we've got this guy, but this guy should be, well, they're not. They're not doing it. So then you just worry about yourself. I know it's a team game, but worry about yourself. If you're a Julio Rodriguez, all right, what is it that gets me in this mode where I'm getting poolside in the air with authority? All right, Josh Naylor, what is it that gets me a 2-1 count and I can just unleash on a mistake right center gap? Because he's not doing that right now. It's a lot of singles. Obviously, Cal, we know about the issues. The aircraft carrier part here, too. All right, I'll tell you right now, man, the aircraft carrier is Cal Raleigh because he touches this team in so many different places in regards to the pitching, the offense, defense, clubhouse, when they travel, all this stuff. When he's walking around, the aircraft carrier is out of commission right now. It's sitting there, man. It needs a new rudder or something, right? It's sitting there. He knows it, man, and their whole team knows it. I've said this a few times. I've seen this, man. He'll crush a ball in the gap, get caught, push a runner over, and everyone's like, you just see the whole energy. They go, come on. They want that ball to leave the yard because they know, man, what he means to them. And I'm telling you, when you've got your guy, your aircraft carrier, walking around a shell of himself right now, he'll be the first to tell you, man, I'm telling you, that affects everyone in that clubhouse way more than him just getting 2 hits a night. I'm telling you right now, man. It's so tough. And it's not like he can walk in and be like, hey, guys, I'm the leader here. You don't want to lead when you're struggling.
Yeah, it's hard to stand up in front of everybody.
Yeah,
you're hitting a buck
man.
68 or
whatever.
It
is so tough, absolutely.
John Morosi also talking about this offense and saying, the obvious here. They can't afford to waste the chances they do get.
This is not an especially high-average team. No one is having that great of an offensive year. And so as a result, you have to do the little things to bank some runs. And even if you're probably not going to have anybody driving 100, let alone maybe not even 90, you need to find someone to at least get into the range of 75 or 80 RBI to just be the person that is helping to cash in the opportunities. That, I believe, if the Mariners miss the playoffs, that is going to be one of the biggest reasons why.
Yeah, so when we had that road trip to Florida, Miami and Tampa Bay, you got Tampa Bay, don't hit a whole lot of home runs, but they got Junior Caminero, that big presence in the middle of the lineup. But, man, the guys around him, do they do the little things, man? If they get asked to bunt the third inning, they're bunting. right? If they get asked, hey, listen, you have to put the ball in play right here. If they get asked, hey, when you go first, you have to go first to third in this situation. You have to put those pieces in that can go first to third. The Mariners, look, they're a station-to-station team. There's only 2 players when you talk about base running above average. It was only Dominic Canzone and Luke Rayleigh was there in regards to taking extra base, but Josh Naylor had an above-average score because he was stealing bases, and that was it. And so you look at that and say, hey, listen, I'm talking about untethering from last year. All right, you know what? Guess what? If you are unable to put the ball in play, well, then this next at-bat, are not going to just put that ball on the right side of the infield, I hate to say it, because we have to scratch and claw for a run, well, then we're making a change, or we're taking the bat out of your hand, straight up.
Yeah, it's weird just looking at these numbers. I mean, there's only one team worse with runners in scoring position, Cincinnati Reds.
Right.
Hitting .213.
Oh, and by the way, too, look at
Mariners
the extra...
hitting .219 with runners in scoring position.
But they hit a lot of home runs.
That's 29th in the league, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? And everyone's like, well, they hit 50% of their runs via long ball. Yeah, but you've seen the home runs. It's not the same as last year. If you're a top 5 team in home runs, hey, have at it. If you're a team extra base hits, top 5, top 10, have at it. They're last in extra base hits.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Very tough.
They're those opportunities with runners in scoring position just seem to go to waste more than they should. You know, I was asking Shannon about this earlier. We always, you know, fans will text in, they got to light a fire under them. They got to send a message. They got to do this. You had Magianis get fired. Nothing changed with the offense. You had the trade deadline come. You lost some players that were well regarded in that clubhouse. You brought in some help for the offense. Nothing's changed to this point. Right. Still not a ton of time between now and then.
Yeah.
You had the fight. Everybody loved to point to the fight against the Angels with Jesse Winker and how that was a big turning point.
Yeah.
You had this fight with, you want to call it a fight, the dust up with this team, with the Tigers.
Which, by the way, I love that. When you're in the club, when you're in the dugout, they're awesome because
I love
sparksy energy.
But then you came out the next day and you turtled.
Yeah.
You came out, you weren't even competitive. 11-0.
Flat. Yeah.
I mean, so all of these things you would normally look at and go, okay, well, this guy got fired. They love Magianis in that club. That's going to send a message.
Yeah.
I don't think message was received. So all of these individual things have happened, and it's really led to the same result. So I'm looking at it going, all right, well, what's left to try? We've seen Dan shuffle the lineup. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm going, I don't understand what you're doing here.
Yeah.
You know, the dropping this guy, putting this guy at the top, what have you. But
right. I mean, sending a message, like if you're going to do a coaching change, then you need to do it April, maybe early May, if you want to have some kind of impact. And look, I said this before the Red Sox went on a run. I said this also before the Phillies went on a run too. Both of those teams, made a change.
Yeah.
Right? And then in regards to so that stuff, the whole we're going to get rid of this person. No. It's, you guys were talking to Shannon about Dan Wilson as well. Very well respected in the clubhouse. Everyone speaks highly of him, can translate the message. He's a good bridge because he came up in an era of where the manager has that sacred ground with the players, and it's their sacred ground. It's not this transparency where everyone's kind of this collaboration like we always hear about, the sending the lineup down from the front office and all this, all this stuff. But when you talk about little things like sending a message or what have you, again, man, with this, the way the schedule works out and what I said about untethering, I still think that you, as individuals on a 26-man roster, you have to go to that individual place. What I mean by that is you have to, every single 26 of those dudes have to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing right now? Where am I at? As opposed to this team energy and collaboration. I'm telling you, because
so they got to get a little selfish?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They really do, for sure. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you don't want this cancerous where it's like during BP as we're watching right now where they're sitting around and they're pointing fingers. Oh, it's because of this, because of that. No. Look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
We're not pointing fingers right now. I've been on teams, man, where you get those little rock piles. I talk about this all the time. And everyone's like, what about so-and-so? Why is he pitching in this situation? Oh, can you believe, they're going to run out, the front office. It's all BS, man. You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, dude, you're hovering around. You're walking around playing at 70% of your capacity right now, and it's affecting this team.
Yeah, there's very few people who could stand up in that clubhouse right now and point a finger at anybody else.
Absolutely.
I mean, with any credibility.
Oh, hey, you'd be surprised, guys who are scuffling and they're blaming other people. Other teams, I'm like, yeah, man. I look up on the board every night, and I'm like,
you should probably pipe down.
Yeah.
Look at those numbers. They're not good. Hey, I want to ask you about one guy. We don't have it on here, but I wanted to ask you about him because this is a guy who was huge for this team last year as well. I mean, absolutely turned into a leverage guy, and as of late has been an absolute liability, giving up long ball after long ball, and that's Bizzardo.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bizzardo. Nobody's championed that guy more than I have. I loved him. What has happened?
He is just going through. Look, he was really good. There's just a short stint here where he, and we talk about this in Munoz all the time.
And he was good to start the year.
Yeah. It hasn't been like, oh, what an absolute train wreck of a year. He's having a good year. He's going through this stint right now, and I noticed this the other day. He's shaken off with that sweeper of his.
He's got no faith in the sweeper?
I was watching him, man, he does not want to throw that pitch right now. He gave up a couple runs with it. He's just in that place where that sweeper right now is just hovering. Now, whether it's he's tipping something or the command isn't great with it. The command wasn't great with it.
Yeah, it feels like he's catching a lot of the plate.
Yeah, but usually that pitch, he can still throw that sweeper and catch some plate and still get bad swings. So I'm like, something's up. He knows it too. And so he's really shying away from that pitch. It's not a good place to be. We talk about this with Munoz. When Munoz was going through that stretch where he was really struggling, he just did not have that feel. That
on the
confidence.
slider.
No chance. And the same right now is going through with Bizzardo. All it takes, man, when you're in that bullpen and you're pitching day in, day out the way they are, all it takes is to get a couple swings and misses on a fatter sweeper in the middle of the strike zone, and you're like, I'm all good.
So is it more mechanical or mental with him?
I think okay, sweeper hasn't been the best quality, but when you see a couple 60 feet away, they just get destroyed, then you shy away. If it's a 2-1 count, hey, drop a sweeper in here. Nope, not doing it. Next thing, 3-1. And then it's ball 4 because you're trying to pitch away from contact. Or 2 strikes, you're thinking to yourself, man, okay, I have to be perfect with this pitch. And all of a sudden, little backspin out, you try and do too much. Can be a mental thing, turns into a physical thing. It spins, and then wham, and you're like, oh, man, okay, I've lost that pitch right now. I don't have the feel for that pitch. I'm not comfortable throwing that pitch in there. And that happened. I can give you 3 or 4 examples last time he was out there.
Does he need a softer landing? Do they need to bring him in?
No, he needs, honestly,
some earlier situations? Or
that can help some guys. I remember, for me, oh, hey, here you go. He's I was like, come on, man.
A little baby step?
Yeah, it was brutal. I'm telling you, because I had a couple
put you in when you're down by 7 and it's
I was starting to get, when I was still in the bullpen before I joined the rotation, I was pitching some good spots, Oh, that big lefty coming in. Gave it up. Like, hey, they tried to tinker a little bit with with the slider, trying to do a little front door slider left, all this crap. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're probably going to get you in there, And so I come in, I think we're down by a bunch. Hey, we're going to get you in. I want you to work on this pitch. I'm like, please don't. It's like, no, come on. I think with him, bring him in his spot. And again, all it takes, honestly, we may see it tonight or tomorrow or whatever, all it takes is throwing that sweeper, getting a bad swing. You're like, okay, I'm all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly that can turn.
All right. Before we get to the break, I wanted to ask you about this because we talked about Yumi and Shannon before up in the booth. But Bryce Miller, he started out a house of fire. I mean, his season obviously started much later. So are we looking at this as kind of his mid-season wall that he's hitting, or what do you? He's not been the same guy through the last 4 or 5 starts, I would say. He had one where he was almost a quality start, didn't quite get through 6. I think it was 5 2/3, gave up some runs, but last night, and then it just seems like it's dipped. The velocity's down just a touch. What do you see out of him?
Yeah, so yes, I would say yes to that. Is that mid-season type of, going through the dog days, so to speak. The only thing with him, he was out the gates 3 to 5. He had 3 to 5 starts. I'm like, oh, man, this is the best version. But he kept that going. I was like, whoa, okay, is this how it's going to be all year?
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way he can sustain this. And I'm not saying because knock on him whatsoever. It's just because his velocity's way through the roof. The split is nasty. He's getting this big sweeper that's getting swing and miss. I'm like, hang on a minute. And then not to mention too, there's been a bit of manipulation in regards to the off days. So long stretch without pitching, then only 4 days and so on and so forth. So I was watching that and thinking, and then he had the time off. Now he did deal with a blister thing, right? He actually mentioned that. He did deal with a blister thing, which there was a bunch of cutters written down. He threw his cutter a lot tonight. No, he didn't. The ball was just cutting out of his hand. He was working around the blister. He was dealing with that. I remember in Miami, I was watching him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, snitch here or anything, but I was watching him because he sat down with me in Miami. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He goes, I'm just dealing with a bit of this. He said it publicly.
Yeah.
And then he said his arm was bugging him a little bit too. So, yes, I think what happens is you come out of the gates, you're feeling good, you're motivated because of every other reason, and you come out but he sustained that quick little spurt of motivation for 9 straight or something.
Yeah, he was their best pitcher.
And so now you're dealing with it. So, but what you're starting to see, I saw this last outing, where it's pitch number 70 and zoom, 96, 97. Like, oh, there it is. So I think he's recognizing the fact that I have to level up here a little bit physically. Like, I can't just sit back and just expect 96 with that 2,600 RPM. I have to, go max effort a little bit now. And you're starting to see that. He's starting to get more swing. So I think he's going to be okay, but I think he's going through it right now. The only thing on that real quick, I'll be real quick. This is why we talked about this with Kate Anderson. Hey, guess what, guys? Luis Castillo's gone. You wanted your 5-man rotation?
And nobody was more vocal than Bryce.
Can you sustain? We're going to have some times here. We only got 4 days off.
Yeah.
Are you able to roll back out and go 95 pitches? We'll see.
Yeah. All right. We've narrowed down a few things that the Mariners need to fix if they're going to make the playoffs. We'll get into that coming up next as we continue live from T-Mobile Park, Edgar's Cantina. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith. It is Seattle Sports on 710.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man?
Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Justin's an avid skier, and a hard fall on the mountain changed everything.
I wound up tearing my meniscus, and then I found out that I also had osteoarthritis.
The pain was relentless.
Initially, it was probably a 7 or 8, but then it just continued and never went away.
It wasn't just pain, it was how he moved.
The biggest issue I had was simply walking. I could not walk without limping.
Others might have looked into surgery, but Justin chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's it now?
I'm back to skiing as hard as I can, and I don't even notice my knee anymore.
And the recovery?
Well, the biggest thing is I was walking without a limp within weeks, where I had been limping for the last year or so. Now I just feel totally normal. I feel like I can do anything that I ever did.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood, in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optimal Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optimal Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays getting set to kick things off tonight. Game 1 of their 3-game series coming your way. A big weekend for the Mariners, obviously a celebration. 50 years as an organization. They're going to unveil the 50 greatest Seattle Mariners tomorrow night. We got the home run derby tonight with this guy, Ryan Roland Smith, who's been who's been
legend. Thank you.
taking his cuts and everything.
We come back to Edgar's.
Edgar's Cantina.
Wow.
They do you. They treat you right at Edgar's Cantina.
Nice.
Look at these tacos. Look at, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but look at that. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on here at Edgar's. This is great stuff. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
So a huge weekend. We need to, there's Lefko just smothering the camera. Nothing gets Lefko going more than free food. It just
No. The reason he's doing that, he's like, here, quickly look at this, quickly, so I can just smash it. That's why.
He's gonna.
Yeah. Don't look anymore. I'm gonna eat these.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wait till he gets a mouthful and then ask him a question.
Yeah.
But no, looking at this team right now, it's a great weekend. Hopefully, this is a great series. But look, Mariners didn't give fans a reason to be optimistic coming out of that Tiger series. It was just horrible.
Yeah, no, it was tough. And especially, too, we always think about these dates, too, like after the break, they're going to come back re-energized, maybe a team meeting, just take a breath, decompress. Okay, kind of slow getting out of the break. I know they won that first series. Trade deadline, some new faces. All of a sudden, you kind of dust settles and Emerson Hancock's still here. And, you got some new faces, some new help. And then, man, you dropped that series against the Tigers, which, by the way, the Tigers were red hot, man. Like, let's get real. They were just.
But they traded away their top 2 pitchers.
I still don't understand. I kept saying it. I think Goldsmith looked at me and, was if to say, can you stop saying that? Because it was true. I was like, what are the Tigers doing?
Yeah, you traded away Mize and Skubal. And
I get the Skubal thing because it's like, you have an opportunity, like a ridiculous. He's not coming back. All right.
He's going to be a free agent.
But at least add something. But anyway, but the Tigers, man, they're a good team, and and Troy Melton that first night, he was hard. He was a tough guy to hit. But So you have all these dates like coming out of the break, the trade deadline, maybe the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, you had the fight.
The fight.
You had all these things that could be triggers.
Yeah, you're just waiting, and I'm sure that clubhouse is just waiting for that time just to go off. They've only really had that stretch, and that was when they had that series down in against the Athletics, and they won 8 straight. And they were hitting lefties all of a sudden. Guys were starting to show up. Julio was smashing the ball.
Yeah.
Man, that was a nice trip. Like, here we go. And
Yeah.
then boom. And that's pretty much, this entire season has been a real head scratcher and really frustrating besides that 8-game stretch when you think about it. Like, there has never been that, like that momentum from that one series to the next. You know what I mean? It's been tough.
Lefko just smashed his first taco.
He sure did.
3 bites right there. Look at that. Just watching him.
Press the talk button.
He's trying to swallow first. Yeah,
It's good.
Just smashed it.
Yeah, he take
Smashed
mine,
it.
dude.
Just smashed it.
Wait, you got to get big for the home run derby.
Right.
Yeah, I got a
I was
little-
going to, by the way, I've got a little private suite tonight, big time.
Yeah, loaded with food and
By the way,
everything?
I'm paying for this thing. It's not like, I want to make that
There we
clear.
go. Oh, so is it just going to be water and lettuce?
Hey, listen, Amanda and I were
don't get lettuce, no.
Amanda and I were going over the food options. And I'm like, oh my God, man. Man's like, you cannot think that.
What did you want to do? Tell me what you wanted to do that she talked you out of.
I was going to bring a little air fryer and cook my own hot dogs. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
That's why
I was
he's not
gonna bring
eating
in-
them. He's bringing those tacos up.
Yeah, I'm taking these up. I was going to bring in George Foreman up.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No. But she's like, you cannot expect to do this and not, get
Provide
the
food.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, what is this? But no, but it's going to
And
be
you're
fun,
like, all right, well, how much food do we really
Yeah.
We don't need a big
I'm going to
variety.
be hovering. And by the way, I was going to invite Left Guard, but I'm like, no.
No,
Because
he'll-
he's just going to destroy.
Oh, he'll eat you out of the place. Yeah.
I'm going to
That's
stand
fair,
by the
yeah.
food and go, just one.
Everybody gets one turn and then have a seat.
You're marking their name off as they go through.
You get a little sticker on your hand, little stamp, says you've been through one time. Looking at some of the things, though, that are sort of unknowns for this, as Lefko put on the sheet here. Out of the following, which looms is the greatest unknown for you the rest of the way? Brendan Donovan, if Brendan Donovan can make an impact after the long absence, if Bryan Wu will continue to struggle on the road, if Cal and Julio will find sustained and consistent power. Cal's batting 8th tonight, apparently, so he's going further and further down the lineup. To me, that the third one is the biggest unknown because Cal is so far gone from who he was last year. Julio's been a little deceptive. I mean, he's up there in hits and everything. Now his total went down because he was hurt for a little bit, but he was kind of a singles hitter. He was getting on base. He was having multi-hit games, but they were singles. So he's making contact. I feel like he and Cal are both the same in that balls that are what you would call a cookie, right over the middle of the plate, they're fouling them off. Or they would make them pay last year, especially Cal. He'd launch that thing in the seats, and they're fouling them off. They're just not squaring them up. To me, of those three, Cal and Wu are close 1 and 2 because I don't know how to explain Wu on the road. I think I hit you with a text when you were on the road after Wu started going, what? How could he possibly be this bad on the road and this good at home? But
the one that, the greatest unknown, the one that concerns me, the uncertainty, is the second one. Bryan Wu will continue to struggle on the road. Now, I say that because, first of all, Brendan Donovan, right? Like, the easiest way for the hitters that can break out of slumps faster are the guys who have the bat to ball skill.
Yeah.
Right, and that's him. I think he's going to be fine. Once he just kind of knows that he's going to be healthy and feel really good when he swings, runs, and does everything, and he settles back in, I think he's going to be okay. Cal and Julio. Look, Julio can go 0 for 1,000, get a ground ball, little dribbler through the hole and just go do the pump the air. And we're like, hold on, like, dude, like, and then all of a sudden he just goes off.
Yeah.
At a turn of a hat. I'm not worried about Julio. Now, Cal, watch him take BP, unless he's injured. Unless there's an injury, he's not, because we know how he is. He's not going to tell you if something's banged up, had the oblique and everything else. I mean, he couldn't hide that one. Unless there's an injury, I think there is going to be a time and a place where the home run comes back. I really do, right? Because it's going to get to a point where it's like, I got nothing to lose. Guys are going to challenge him, heaters like they have been, and he's going to get after it. The one that concerns me is the Bryan Wu one. And I say that because of this. Even though the splits at home and road are very drastically different, he's one of the best pitchers on the planet at home, completely different on the road. The thing that is the common denominator is what he does when he has to make the big pitch. Opponents are hitting, with runners in scoring position against him this year, 400. That includes at home. That's not just on the road.
Okay.
The difference is way more opportunities on the road. than at home. Now, that's the part that concerns me. So if you, especially on the road, if you are not cleaning up, making that big pitch, checking that runner on second, whether it's mechanical, something out of the, out of your stretch position where you're not getting that good release point or something, because, look, and by the way, people don't understand this. Pitching with runners on compared to pitching with runners off, mechanically, are really different. Right. And, man, you've got to get both down. It's like having two swings. It really is. Everyone's like, oh, you just do the same thing. You don't. And so sometimes for me, I remember as a pitcher, I was like, out of the windup, get that good rhythm, zoom, I'm on top of the ball comes out nice. Runner gets on, I'm like, oh, man, everything feels different. Right. Yeah, oh, man. And so with him, to me, and not just with runners on, but especially making that big pitch, man, he is struggling with runners behind him, and it's crazy, and it's the same quality of pitch if you go look at all the at-bats at home. So that's the one that concerns me, the Bryan Wu one. They need him, man, on the road.
Oh, they do.
And every time he goes out and dominates at home, I feel like hey, high five, man. Hey, how do we get that on the road? So you can be
pack that up, take it with you.
We know how good he can be, man. He's such a stud, dude. Oh my God, he's such a good pitcher, and it's like it breaks my heart because no one cares more than him. He's losing sleep over that in those hotel rooms. Let me tell you.
Well, you almost wonder if that's the thing. As soon as something goes wrong, he walks somebody, he gives up a hit. Like, great, here we go again. So. Meanwhile, Jay Buhner said exactly what every Mariners fan was thinking after yesterday, and we'll hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith in at Seattle Sports on 710.
Edgar, Alvin, Moyer, Boone, Griffey.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck. That will fly away. My, oh, my.
The top 50 Mariners of all time are unveiled tomorrow at 5:30 in a celebration 50 years in the making. The Mariners' 50 season celebration ceremony. Hear every moment live on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mariners fans, the Law Tigers are teaming up with your Seattle Mariners and Destination Harley-Davidson to give one lucky fan a custom 2026 Street Bob to celebrate 50 seasons. Now, the bike was painted by legendary VC Designs. You can enter now at marinersbike.com. The bike will be given away live at the game on September 22nd. Go to marinersbike.com to enter today. Again, that's marinersbike.com to win. It's Bob Stelton here, and the Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. So if you find yourself injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. For 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders with one mission: to serve the motorcycle community. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, 25 years strong. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding is underway now. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com. murphyauction.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
So this was a strange dynamic. Yeah, yesterday before the game, we found out that Dan Wilson was going to be suspended along with Gabe Spire. But I guess when you're suspended, you can still do the pregame media session. So Dan was there doing the pregame media session. And the first question to him, obviously, was, hey, how does it feel to be suspended for the first time in your career?
Yes, a little bit different today, and be in my office and just watching the game today. But that is the rule. I can't say that I agree with the rule, but in this case, that's what happens, and just be a different vantage point. I've got great, incredible trust in Manny and the rest of the coaching staff down here that will be making decisions, and I'm excited that they'll be where they are to do that, and tremendous faith and confidence in them and in this group.
I like seeing Dan a little fired up. I know fans have been craving, calling for it, and it's not really who he is. So when it does happen, it stands out, and you kind of knew it was coming that night. Yeah. I also liked, I was telling Shannon, there was nothing to like about last night. The only thing I could cling to was Manny Acta being pretty blunt in the postgame, where he just came out and said, yeah, that was out of character for Bryce, and they put us in a hole early, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically it's like, no, secondary pitches weren't working. He just was much more blunt about it than we hear from Dan.
Well, 2 things. Number one, with Dan, we saw him fire up a little bit last year, too. There was a couple times I was like, man, he's like letting it eat a little bit. Now, he's very, he comes from the generation, too, where you don't really need to give the media anything. You just tell them what they want to hear, and behind closed doors, that's where you make all that's where you say all the big things. Whereas some managers feel like they have to put on the whole show and performance, or say certain things or be charismatic, where he's just like, he gave us a good chance to win next, like whatever, just check the box and move on. He comes from that kind of generation. The other part of this is too, with yesterday, if you really want to break down that game yesterday, you had a situation, you're down by 4 early against Framber Valdez. Man, it's going to be tough regardless. Like, that's just the way it goes, the way that game goes. And Bryce was not sharp at all. He wasn't. The first couple of innings, he got fine, but, man, he couldn't afford to do that against that red-hot offense.
Sweeping the dial.
A.J. Brzezinski on foul territory. They're kind of talking about, look, the Red Sox, they were equating what the Mariners had happen with this fight that we were talking about, or the skirmish, and them not taking advantage of it, with the Red Sox, who after a Wilson Contreras fight went on that 15-game win streak. They've been the hottest team in baseball. So Brzezinski was kind of breaking down why the Red Sox spark is different than what didn't happen for the Mariners.
Yeah, the Mariners need to play better. That's about it. They can fight all they want, but the difference is the Red Sox got hot as fire after all the stuff with Wilson Contreras. And it wasn't just Wilson Contreras. It was a lot of the other guys, Cedon Rafaela, and a lot of the other guys in the lineup, Caleb Durbin, Monasterio, all these other guys got hot. Wilyer Abreu has 20 homers now, so their pitching staff has been really good. But the Mariners, you see it right there, they're 2.5 back at the Astros. And unless something changes quick, I don't know if they're going to make the postseason. But what's funny is the Rangers actually are in the postseason right now at 57 and 58, which is also amazing.
Yeah, Mariners didn't get hot after that fight. And I don't know, do you look at the Red Sox and go, well, that's what led to the hot streak, or is that happenstance?
Well, okay, listen. These moments that happen where you're getting a little, bench clearance, or Julio comes up, hits a 3-run bomb, everything else, that's something in hindsight you look at and go, oh, that was a game that kind of all of a sudden everyone turned around and said, hey, like, we're having fun again.
Yeah.
You don't walk away from that game and say, oh, yep, we're good now. That's not how it works. Like, and I'll say that. I said that on the broadcast that night. I said, after they won that game, I finished the last comment I made to Aaron Goldsmith in the booth was, I hope we look back at the end of September and say that game was a turning point. Because it's always the case. Everyone's like, oh, this is something that's going to fire up. Maybe. But I'm with him. They have to play better. You simply have to play better. And again, maybe in 3 weeks you turn around, if they go 2-3 against the Rays, take 2 or 3 from the Rays, and have a really good road trip, and you turn around and say, yeah, man, that game was where, or something happened in the clubhouse that we don't know about. But to say it after it happens, for example, for someone to say, oh, hey, the Mariners just gotten biffo, a bench clearance.
What'd you call it?
A biffo.
Biffo?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's a fight?
A fight, yeah. By the way, I told him I get locked in the toilet. I said that during the game. That's how bad the game was. We had plenty of time to talk about that. But that's something that you talk about in 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something where it's like, oh, hey, we're good now. Sweet. No. You have to play well, and you have to all of a sudden have something like that says, all right, now we're good. Now we're having fun right now. But that's something you talk about in hindsight. Easy to talk about with the Red Sox when they're a couple weeks into just nothing to lose mentality. Bunch of young dudes saying, I don't care. I just want to.
Yeah, they look like they were going to be sellers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sweeping the dial.
But it was quite, I guess we'll call it an event that was happening this week on the Mariners radio broadcast. So Jay Buhner and Dave Valley were in with Riz all series. You had kind of controlled chaos, or just chaos, but highly entertaining. And this was Jay kind of after the game in the kind of pre-post breakdown with Rick, discussing pretty much, I think, how a lot of fans are feeling.
This got ugly in a hurry, Ricky. This is, I mean, I'm sorry. This is an embarrassing loss. I mean, the Tigers came in here and dropped a 55-gallon can. It's not good. And they better find a way to figure it out really, really damn quick.
Because another really good ball
club is coming in tomorrow night. It's not going to get any easier.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a special weekend. And the fans here and myself want to enjoy and celebrate with this team after a W.
He's not wrong.
100%. Hey, by the way, he was going back and forth from TV and radio. He didn't say on our TV side.
Yeah?
The good stuff's on radio.
Yeah, the good stuff's on radio, apparently, Jay. Yeah. Hey, I agree. I 100% agree with him. Look, here's the deal, man. I've been on teams where that loss happens and you have people in the clubhouse say, we're not putting up with that, straight up. And they say, all right, players only, for example. Could be players and coaches. But guess what? All right, everyone sit around, look each other in the eye. What's the deal? What's going on? You address it. So when you leave and you drive home, or you get on the bus to go to the next road trip, that you're like, oh man, you know what? He said some things and it really hit, and I'm feeling it right now. Or I've been on the flip side, I've been on teams that, if, like you said, if you don't address it, and you just go in and look on your, go through your Instagram or whatever you do on look it down in your phone, everyone showers and leaves, and no one steps up, then you have a problem. Now, again, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. If it's something that today, and I'm not saying you have to start throwing stuff around the clubhouse.
Right.
But at the same time, man, as a collective, as 26 players, there has to be some sort of presence in that locker room that says this standard is unacceptable.
Who calls the team meeting? Usually you look at your leaders like JP.
It's got to be a player.
Cal.
We'll see.
You can't, if you're struggling the way the leaders are struggling.
Yeah, and this is a hard thing.
Can they stand up in front of the rest of the group and go, we got to be better? And everybody's looking at you going, you're hitting under 200.
Well, look, I put it this way. Here's the weird perception aspect of it. If Cal hypothetically got up and said, hey guys, we have to be better, everyone would listen and have complete respect and say, yeah, he's right, man, this makes an impact. Yet the problem is, when you're looking through his eyes, Cal's, I get it, man. He's getting up saying, man, I'm really underperforming. I'm a shell of myself right now. I know it. I know how much better I can be. I'm just not in a position where I want to get up and speak in front of a group. So it's a catch-22 in that regard. So, but man, I'm telling you, like I said, I've been on teams that could, like, I'll give you an example. Mike Sweeney was that dude who was a platoon player, but man, that happens. He's like, all right, guys, gather around. He's looking everyone in the eye and people speak. But then I've been on teams of guys just like, whatever, showers out. And as a young player too, I've been on as a young player, I'm like, this sucks, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone was going to get up and doesn't mean they have to start throwing stuff around the clubhouse, but just address the situation, look each other in the eye and say, we know we can be better than this.
All right, coming up, most of the list is a closely guarded secret, but I think we know. Brett Boone will be amongst the 50 greatest Mariners, and he is going to join us on set next as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith, Seattle Sports on 710.
Ichiro, Boone, Langston, Buhner.
And belted one for history into the upper deck. My, oh my, Jay Buhner.
A celebration 50 seasons in the making. The top 50 Mariners of all time are unveiled during the Mariners 50 season celebration ceremony tomorrow at 5:30, ahead of the Mariners and Rays at 6:50. Hear every moment live on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this, and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with Ryan Roland Smith live on a big, big weekend for your Seattle Mariners as the celebration of the organization happens this weekend. 50 years as an organization, honoring the 50 greatest players to ever wear a Mariners uniform. And some of the names are obvious, right? We're guessing some of the names in the back, but we get a chance to speak to a guy I think was a pretty obvious pick who's on set with us right now, man, who occupied second base for this team in some pretty spectacular times. The one, the only, Brett Boone is here with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I haven't been up to Poppy's Cantina, Edgar's Cantina.
How do you feel? It's nice, right?
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
He's never invited me here before.
Yeah, look at all the people that got Brett Boone cards. You got a lot. You still got a lot of pull out here, man.
We're getting old, aren't we?
Hey, what does it mean to you to be part? We'll see the whole list, but obviously you're going to be a part of the 50 greatest ever. What does that mean to you to hear that?
Well, you know, I've done over the years. I've made quite a few trips up here to Seattle, but it's usually those early 2000 teams. And don't get me wrong, I love catching up with those guys. It was my favorite group of guys that I played with, you know, in my entire career. So it's always nice getting to see them. But what was different about this was just the room last night. You go way back. I'm talking with Bruce Bhakti, who was there at the very beginning, and Mr. Mariner. Alvin, seeing him and you know, getting to catch up with Harold, who I actually replaced in Seattle in the early 90s. And then, obviously, you get to see, I always love seeing Johnny Olerud, and got to talk to Dan and Edgar a little bit last night. Big units here. And then through the years after me till present. So I think it's a unique thing. We're all getting together at the same time. So it's something I've never really done before. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's going to be a long weekend, but it'll be fun.
Now, Bernie, we know, well, I know. No, I don't know if everyone else knows. So you sworn to secrecy. Obviously, you can't give away some of the names. But you guys had a big dinner last night.
Yeah.
Everyone was there. Pretty much, I think it's like 45 or 50 or something have shown up or something like that.
I think, there's some guys that couldn't come with other obligations. And then I think it's current players, too.
Right.
So we got a few of the current players. I won't tell you who they are. And when I talk about that, I'm naming kind of the obvious guys that were going to be there. Griffey's on the list, if you guys are wondering.
What?
Yeah, he's on the list.
I thought he was a trainer.
All right, so last night, it'd be without giving away any names, were there any conversations behind the scenes that you had with maybe a current player or someone who you weren't expecting to see in this, or someone who it's been a while and you had an epic conversation last night, highlight from last night?
Well, it was interesting. I got called over. Harold came over, and he's doing the ESPN, and he says, well, I can't give away the name. Oh, I already did. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, so I go over to Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
He was at the 79 All-Star game. I was at the 79 All-Star game with my dad. And I came over to him. I said, you had a big helmet. You had a big helmet. I remember that. Yeah. And we started talking. And you know what he was interested in? He was interested because I was with the Rangers last year as their hitting coach. And he wanted to talk about the modern-day player and what's discussed and behind the scenes and how it's different from not only my time, but his time, which was kind of before my time. So that was an interesting conversation that came up. But it was just kind of good seeing everybody and just kind of reminiscing a little bit. And at the same time, it's like, as a player, and we all, you know this, after a tough loss yesterday, it's like maybe the last thing on planet Earth you want to do is to go to a function and smile. Hey, how you doing, guys? Great to see you. And as ex-players, we know that. It's like, just get through the awkward beginning. How are things going? And then you kind of move on. So we understand that. We're here to kind of stay out of their way, but at the same time, we're going to have a little party up there in the booth tonight. Tomorrow's the day. I'm going to watch an ex-teammate, hopefully not embarrass himself in the home run derby this evening, and Mike Cameron. And then, we'll call it a wrap after Sunday.
You mentioned the loss yesterday, right? And you obviously follow Major League Baseball. Yeah. You talk about it. You have a show. And so you're following this team naturally, right? You're a part of this organization. You're watching that game yesterday, and Jay Buhner, we just played a clip, what he said on the radio at the end of the game, saying, you should be, as a player, you feel embarrassed. It has to be addressed. Take us inside the clubhouse, and was there someone in a leadership position that would have a team meeting, players only, maybe, hypothetically, that stepped up and wanted to sort of change kind of the attitude, the vibe, and the feeling that was happening inside that clubhouse that you remember that made a real difference?
It wasn't much. It wasn't so much the team meetings, and we've all been a part of a ton of team meetings. And a lot of them are kind of a waste of time. Yep. And it's a lot of rhetoric, and it's a lot of rah-rah, let's kick it in the butt, let's get whatever. It really comes down to teammates just kind of looking at each other and being accountable to one another. And especially when you're on a team with expectations. And you set the bar high. This Mariner team last year, real close to going to the World Series for the first time. But then over the offseason and all the analysts, and we go into the season, we all predict. And I looked at this team on paper, and I thought, I think the Seattle Mariners have the best roster, not in the division, in the American League. Right. And I think I wasn't alone in that thought. And when you have expectations and you really don't live up, it starts to weigh on you as a player. And you're coming to the ballpark trying to find a way. I look at the little things right now, like Donovan coming back, the trade they made at the deadline.
Taylor Ward
Ward coming over, who a year ago hit 36 home runs for the Angels. And all of a sudden, guys like that, the main guys, which are the Raleighs, the Julios, the Rosarinas, the Nailers, sometimes having an influx of Donovan, who's been away for a while, came in the offseason this year, and having a Taylor Ward come. Maybe you're looking for a spark from those guys. You're looking for it somewhere, and it's nothing you can point to as, hey, guys, we got to start winning. No, you got to start winning some series. And once you roll together 1 or 2 series, now all of a sudden you've got something. But there's really no magic to it. I never was at a meeting where I came out of there and just felt change.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a look and holding each other accountable and just playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. The good thing is with the expectations, and probably the guys will tell you themselves, very disappointed at this stage of the season, and they should be with the talent on that roster. That being said, man, what a place to be right now. You're right there.
Yeah.
You know, in years past, the season's over right now if you're below 500. The fact that you're right there, game and a half out of the wild card, it's like, wow, we got 46. We hold our destiny right here, and it's time to go. So it should be interesting. This division, especially with Texas and Houston, it's going to be a 3-way battle. It's going to be interesting.
You talk about being a hitting coach. And looking at hitting today versus when you were out there smacking home runs and everything, how different is it, the approach with all of the analytics now, launch angle and exit velo and things like that? That wasn't talked about when you were playing, and now you got guys coming out of the bullpen one after another that are triple digits. I mean, the pitching's a little different. How different is the game now versus when
the
you were?
The game's very different. I'm envious of the amount of information you have at your fingertips these days. You know, and I told the guys last year, I said, I wish I had this stuff. Now, it's up to what you do with the information. And I always say too much information in the wrong hands can be a detriment. And I think that's very true. You need to be able to be in a position where you know yourself so well that you take every piece of information and you know what to dissect, you know what to get rid of, and you know what you need. I still think this game for 150 years, it doesn't just change overnight. It's still the best hitters in the world against the best pitchers in the world. It's still matchups. It's still who's on the mound tonight, what's my history with him, how's he going to attack me, what have I done in this series, what have I done lately, am I hot, am I not hot, am I seeing the ball, am I not seeing the ball, am I going with my A swing, do I maybe have to go with my B swing tonight? That's how you prepare at the big league level to be successful. It's every night learning how to compete, and it's not about hitting for 2 hours every day. You know, I talk to the guys a lot about it. I said, pretend you're a PGA Tour player. On Saturday, does Tiger Woods go and see how far he can hit his driver? Or does he hit some cuts into the fairways and some draws in the fairway and goes with what he's got that particular day to help him win? That's what I would say with the hitters. What do you have today to help this team win? And it might be I don't have my A swing. I might not hit 2 home runs tonight, but I'm going to find a way to get a hit. And then there's those days where you don't even need to step in the cage. You feel that good, and I would tell those, hey, get out of here. Just get ready for 7 o'clock. And I think that's the thing I saw was missing a little bit is the preparation. It's different. They come up differently. It is a lot of analytics. It's spin rate. It's what's the depth on the slider. And I said, sometimes you got to simplify. Too much information. Let's simplify this. It's a good slider. We know it. We got to hit it to get to the heater.
Speaking of that, and I'm sure there might be a time here in this weekend, and you don't want to overstep, obviously, but Cal, right? You're looking at Cal, hit 60 home runs last year, MVP runner-up. If you hypothetically were sitting with him one-on-one, everything that you've been through, every hitter you've been around, the hitter you've been as well, he's gone from being on the top of the world to all of a sudden just this layering on every day where it's like he just can't find it, found that pitch back, his timing's off, his swing, he's down. What would you, if you were to sit with him and have 20 minutes, what would be the message?
We got to simplify this thing as much as we can. And maybe we've got to give in a little bit to and it's tough. When you're coming off a year as great as he had, I mean, arguably the greatest year in the history of this game from a catcher, hitting 60 home runs. Yeah. It's not like you have to humble yourself. I think Cal's a pretty humble guy, but humble yourself to the fact that this year is what it is. What is done is done, and I've got 46 games, and my only goal, my numbers aren't going to be where they're going to be. But what can I do for the next 46 games? Simplify my approach as much as I can to help this team win games. And still, at the end of the day, the longer I played this game and the longer I've been around this game, the catcher is so important because he's running a pitching staff and an elite pitching staff, and that isn't talked about that much. You know, I learned to really appreciate the Dan Wilson of my generation, and whatever offense he gave us was a bonus because he handled those pitchers so much. Pitchers want to throw to him, and I found that these really good catchers, man, part of winning games, they know that relationship between pitcher-catcher is so important. So he's still got that on his table, too. If that helps win games, do that. But simplify. What's done is done. You got 46 games to go.
How do you do? I feel like fans have a hard time evaluating the role of a manager. They reflect fondly on Lou. Everybody loves Lou. They love the antics. They love the fire and the passion. And now we have Dan, who's kind of the polar opposite. Nicest guy in the world, and people are like, he's got to go in there and turn the table over, turn the spread over, and blah. Do we overestimate the impact of a tantrum from a manager, or yelling at guys? Or, I mean, how would you, if you're the manager, how do you approach a situation like this versus how Lou would have handled it?
Well, first of all, Danny doing that wouldn't be Danny.
Right.
And one thing players do is they see right through BS.
Yeah.
You cannot BS a player. They see everything. So for Danny to go in there and premeditate a tantrum, those players are going to laugh him out of the clubhouse. Danny's got to be Danny. He is what he is. He's a tough as hell player when I played with him. Over the top, nice guy. And he's in that situation. Managing is about managing people. It's no different than an other occupation. Managing ego, managing personalities, just managing player to player. I can say one thing to one player and something completely different to the other to get the same exact result. Some guys I got to be hard on, and they play better when they have a chip on their shoulder. Some guys I've got to kind of give a hug, and they play better that way. That's what managing is about. And for Danny to just, I'm going to change and be a different person, players see right through that.
He had a chance to be with the Rangers last year. And I said, I remember talking to you guys at 3 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. I said, the Rangers are the team that scare me a little bit. What do you see from them? I mean, that's, in my opinion, look, I know the Astros are surging a little bit right now. But the Rangers, to me, I'm like, if they're healthy pitching-wise, man, it's going to be tough, right? What do you see? I mean, you were part of the organization.
I see with the Rangers, DeGrom, you still got Jacob DeGrom. He's not what he was a few years ago. He's still a top-flight guy. Evalde had an unbelievable year last year. Hasn't been quite the same for him this year. And I look at the other guys in rotation. I think Rocker's done a pretty good job for them in the 4 or 5 hole. The bullpen's okay. It's not bad. Offensively, they've been better. Jock Peterson's had a rebound year. Yeah. Wyatt Langford, keeping him on the field, he's becoming a better player. Still at 24, I think he's going to be a great player. One of my favorite guys I had over there. Josh Young at third base had a comeback year, but he's now banged up. He's hurt. The key to that team and the key to that offense has been Corey Seager. Corey Seager's been down a lot this year, and when he's not been down, he's hitting 190. He's in rare territory for Corey Seager. He's not used to those kind of numbers. For them to make a run at it, I think you got to have a healthy Wyatt Langford. I think you got to have a healthy Corey Seager. Jock Peterson, like I said, at the top of that lineup, he's got 20 home runs coming off I think he hit 180 last year. He's been really carrying it for him. Ezekiel Duran's been the super utility player all over the ballpark. But I think it's going to come down to, from an offensive perspective, can Corey get it going? Can Wyatt stay in the field? Can they both stay healthy on the field? That's going to be key for them, because that offense, they need everybody healthy and playing well. And from the pitching standpoint, they're not pitching as good as they were a year ago, but they're still very capable. And it's going to be interesting. You look at those Houston Astros, they're tough. You got the best hitter with Aaron Judge being on the shelf. I think Alvarez really has distanced himself as clearly the best hitter in baseball right now. They've got a great offense. They got their big guy, Hunter Brown, back. A couple of the guys, Blanco's coming back, Javier's coming back. Are they going to be what they were? That's yet to be seen. I think it's a 3-team race. I think you're right. I think Texas could be dangerous, but there's a lot of what-ifs when it comes to that. I still think on paper, no matter what anybody says, and as mediocre as the record is, I think the Mariners, talent-wise, definitely have a huge edge, in my opinion.
Brett, we know you got a lot going on this weekend. We appreciate you coming over, spending some time with us, and have fun this weekend, man. Hopefully the Mariners help with the fun by winning.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
There he is, one of the 50 greatest Mariners ever, Brett Boone, everybody, spending a few minutes with us here at Edgar's Cantina. Good to catch up with him as they will unveil the list tomorrow. We'll find out who the other 49 are. I think we know who some of the obvious ones are, but we'll see who the rest of the list is tomorrow. Meanwhile, it's time to get to some of their mean texts that you guys sent in.
Now, no one's paying attention to us now. That's the mean text in itself.
So they get autographs.
Yeah, the show's over.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You can just make up stuff, Lefko. You
Yeah,
can just
we
start
should
taking
do it
shots. You know what? By the way, I've now played pickleball twice.
Oh, yeah, let's get into this, by the way.
I played the other day, by the way.
And Lefko said, I think you're good enough to beat Ryan Rowland-Smith now.
But no, hang on. Wait, you guys play against each other?
I coached Bob.
I had him coach
And he's
me.
better than you.
I played in the Championship Change tournament, so I was like, I've never even touched a pickleball paddle. Lefko, take me out there, run me through the paces, and then he and I went out for like 2 hours one day.
How much? I don't know how much time we got on this subject.
About 6 minutes.
Like seriously, I know I mess around with him a lot. Is he decent?
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. He's good.
That's
teacher.
pretty convincing. Yeah. If you're watching, you can see he's like no eyebrows up. He's good.
Lefko's he's the real deal when it comes to pickleball.
I will say this.
Seen you out there.
Okay, listen.
Bob is better than you.
I had my coaches.
He's a semi-finalist.
Hey, shout out to my next stream coaches. Dylan Dyer, Dylan Wildbloom, Lucas Christensen, Camden Austin. I can go down the list. We all had a big pickleball afternoon after a camp, right?
Yeah.
I was doing my shot that's going to beat Lefko. They're like, man, that is nasty. They're all, I'm telling you, they're all 20 to 23, young. They're all got stamina. They're all got athleticism.
What does that do with pickleball, though?
They're all playing pickleball.
Yeah, but doesn't
they're like, they're like, I was like, whack. I was doing my shot. And they're like, dude, that's nasty. And I said to Amanda who was out, I said, hey, that's the shot that's going to beat Lefko. She's like, let's go then.
We got to get the match.
Seriously.
Now we can have a full show.
I had validation.
We can find a
and they're all stud pickleball players. They're all college baseball, college softball players. They're all stud pickleball players. And like, dude, that shot is nasty. I was like, yes, got validation. Boom. So they get sponsored.
Now I'm even more curious to see the matchup between you and
So, what happens after someone returns your shot? Do you have another shot?
They don't. Okay, don't return it. It's nasty, dude.
Apparently, you've got no chance of returning it left.
I asked them, I said, have you never seen that shot? They said, we've never seen that shot before. I was like, woo, gotcha.
All right, we'll get to the other mean tags. Yeah. No, that was good, though. We had to get that pickleball discussion in there.
Yes.
Joe in Bellevue says, Ryan, why are you hitting in the home run derby? You should be pitching, so there are a lot of home runs given up.
Wow. Fair enough. Yeah. Hey, I did have someone say, when I said, I'm doing the home run derby, he said, what, are you pitching? What, just throwing up those big balls? I was like, excuse me? Yeah.
You're just grooving them in there, right?
I do like the fact that when I got Brett Boone standing there, he goes, dude, like, and even JB was like, hey, man, like, they're impressed that I'm actually, like, you know, so I'm like,
exposing yourself.
That means my bar is so low, which is great.
Yeah.
Good. I love it.
Look, you hit one, you win. You win.
Thank you.
Yeah, you win the crowd.
Especially when you see what I'm about to pull out, right? In regards to what's coming on the field here
special
with me.
Shot, special thing.
I'm curious.
What's coming out of the bag? I'm telling you right now,
it's
man.
It's going to be a shovel.
No. It's an homage to someone. You'll see.
Okay.
Be ready.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm telling you.
Is it Russell Crowe?
No.
That was my theory.
No.
You know, Australian.
By the way,
he's come out.
I think he's New Zealand. He's from New Zealand.
All right.
Do you have a walk-up song?
They did. Oh, I got some AC/DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said if you go out there and hit one and do the Maximus and win the crowd, you play to them, you'll be below.
What if I take one deep? I should just call Tom. What should I do? What should be the antics I should do?
I think you should drop the bat.
Gladiator. Yeah, you win the crowd.
What does the gladiator do? Though?
You never
he
seen
doesn't
Gladiator?
do this.
No, he holds his arms out. Have you not seen this? It's an iconic movie.
Course, yeah, okay.
Holds his arms out. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, but that's when he just completely just slayers everyone.
Yeah, hitting one home run and then you build up crowd.
That would,
get back.
in order for me to do that, I'd have to win the thing. Come on.
Well, win the thing.
I'd have to take on Ichiro.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Linda says, I have a concussion and can't think clearly. It's done wonders to improve your show.
Nice. Linda's a regular contributor to Mean Text.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wyman calls her Wendy.
Nice. Wendy?
Yeah.
Good on you, Wendy.
206 says, only reason Lefko likes pickleball is because he thought it had to do with food.
There you go. That's not bad.
That's true.
Hey, and by the way, again, back to the same conversation. Everyone's going to hate me who loves pickleball. So why aren't you playing tennis, dude?
That's great. Playing tennis.
Well, then get back on the tennis court. What are we swimming in the kiddie pool for? Get out on the real deal.
Tennis is...
I'll play in tennis, man. I told you, Amanda's playing every day, so I'm starting to get some reps.
I haven't played tennis in 2+ years.
You could beat you in tennis?
Yeah. I'm terrible.
Once I get that serve dialed, I'm telling you. And by the way,
is it the same shot you put on Linux?
Yeah, remember the video? That's right. My poor 7-year-old, I just wham,
firing missiles at the poor kid.
Yeah, that stays in house. That video. People would get upset if I showed that.
We can joke about this, right? You mentioned that you were hit by a car.
Yeah.
You're here. So we have a few
Unreal.
texts about that. Great to see Bob is fit and damage the car more, I think, because Bob's tough. 425 says, Well, can you blame the driver? Jose Altuve can't see over the steering wheel.
Oh, wow. That's not bad. That's good. That's kind of like a little back door.
That would have been the only acceptable reason for them to continue on, just firing out of the parking lot the way they did. The cowards.
First of all, I mean, Bob Stelton, the fact that you were here after getting hit and run, man. I mean, dude, I was complaining to you guys about being late, stuck in traffic, and here I rock up and he's telling me he got hit by a car. I've got no excuses.
Yeah, you saw the video of me flying through the air, landing on my
you showed me the videos. I'm not going to complain ever about anything.
All right, we'll wrap up with this. Joe in Bellevue. This was from yesterday and got Dave kind of mad because Dave doesn't know you can have a bean text on any other day but Friday. He said Matt's terrible at his job. He always tries to get Dave back on the mic in time after a break. The show's better when Dave's not on it.
Aha.
Sorry, Dave. You're not here today.
Oh, there you go.
Are we throwing in a Matt Nelson there?
Yeah, Matt's there. Well, we got to go.
I know you got to go. Hey, by the way, Matt Nelson had me picked for the home run derby, so shout out to Matt Nelson. Thank you, buddy. He's my new favorite, Brady. Sorry.
We want to thank our guests, Shannon Dreyer, Paul Moyer, Ryan Rowland-Smith, and Brett Boone for joining us on the program. If you missed anything, check it out on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Seattle sports extends far beyond Western Washington. Every single day, thousands across our state listen and stream Seattle sports, including our neighbors in Spokane listening on KXLX radio. Our thoughts are with everyone in Spokane, where historic fires have already devastated our state's second most populated city. Join Seattle sports in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
This hour is brought to you by Fast Home Services.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Here it comes, possibly the biggest online midsummer auction anywhere of heavy equipment, trucks, tools, lumber, and much more. Presented by the Murphy Auction Company, bidding is underway now. Featured items include a 2020 Bobcat E32i excavator with less than 1,000 hours, a 2016 Freightliner 2100 Hydrovac truck, a 2011 John Deere 310J 4x4 backhoe, and much more. 10 excavators, 4 backhoes, 11 forklifts, 5 boom and scissor lifts, 5 rollers, 28 golf carts, and more than 60 heavy trucks. But wait, there's more. Attachments, roll-off boxes, shipping containers, contractor tools, lumber, and much more all go into the highest bidder. Preview all items August 11th and 12th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location in Marysville, 3803 136th Street Northeast. For pictures, catalogs, and all details, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com. murphyauction.com.
Seattle summers are sneaky, so when the heat wave hits, it hits like I used to. Dave Wyman here. Fast Home Services has you covered with an AC tune-up for just $59.99. First-time customers get the $99 diagnostic for free. Heating and cooling done right by the local team since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878. 800-948-7878.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family family, the LJ way.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.